Welcome, dear soul. You're not here by accident. Something inside you, maybe soft, maybe subtle, guided you to this moment, to this channel, to this experience. And whether you're visiting for the very first time or returning once again to this sacred space, know that you are deeply, genuinely welcome. What I'm about to share with you has helped thousands, perhaps millions, break free from the endless loop of anxiety that keeps spinning in the mind. It's helped people from all walks of life rediscover a stillness, a silence, and a peace that was never actually missing, only forgotten. Maybe you're here because you haven't slept deeply in weeks. Maybe stress is a constant presence in your chest, like a storm that never leaves. Or maybe you're simply tired. Tired of trying so hard to feel normal, tired of the overthinking, the planning, the second guessing, the relentless voice in your head that just won't let you rest. If any of that sounds like you, welcome home. You have found exactly what you need. In the next 3 hours, you'll be gently guided into a practice so simple that even a child could follow it, and yet so deeply powerful that it has the potential to change every day of your life. There's no special equipment needed, no complex posture to master, no demand that you empty your mind or force anything to happen. What you'll discover here is gentler than that, easier than that, more natural than anything you've ever been taught. The sacred GTH, I have arrived. I am home now, dear friend. Let us gently turn our attention to the sacred heart of this journey, a simple yet transcendent verse, known in Buddhist poem, often recited to anchor the mind, open the heart, and awaken presence. But this particular GTH, I have arrived, I am home, carries within it a profound energy. It isn't just a set of words, gently back to themselves. These lines may seem simple at first glance, but like a seed containing an entire forest, these words hold within them the potential for deep transformation. Let us explore each line together, gently and mindfully. Breathe with me now as we enter the heart of each phrase, not just to understand it intellectually, but to feel it, embody it, live it. I have arrived. Pause. Inhale slowly. Feel this phrase echo within you. For much of our lives, we are constantly on the move, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We rush from one task to the next, one goal to another, always in pursuit of some distant point of completion or happiness. We say to ourselves, when I finish this project, when I get that job, when I lose this weight, when my life finally settles down, then I'll be happy, then I'll feel at peace. But this sacred line, I have arrived, invites you to stop running, to step off the treadmill of striving. It asks you to land right here, right now, in the present moment. When you say, I have arrived, you are not claiming you've solved all of life's problems. You are simply recognizing the truth that you are already here, fully present, fully alive, fully available to the moment unfolding now. This is not arrival at a destination outside of yourself. It is arrival into your breath, into your body, into your being. Your heartbeat is here, your breath is here, and you have already arrived. I am home. Take another slow breath, like a soft blanket. What is home? It is more than walls and a roof. It is a feeling, a deep sense of safety, of belonging, of complete acceptance. So many of us spend our lives searching for this feeling of home, outside ourselves, in people, places, relationships, status, and possessions. And yet, no matter how far we travel, how much we achieve, something always seems to be missing. This GTH gently reveals the truth. Home is not a place, it is a presence, and that presence is within you. When you say, I am home, you affirm that you already possess the stillness, the rest, the peace that you've been seeking elsewhere. Your breath is your home. Your awareness is your shelter. Your body, just as it is sacred ground. You no longer need to seek permission to feel at peace. You don't need to wait until your life is perfect. You are allowed to come home to yourself right now, exactly as you are, in the here, in the now. Let's breathe these words together. Slowly, tenderly, mindfully, here and now. Two of the most overlooked miracles in human life. Most people exist in the past or the future. We live tangled in regrets about yesterday or fears about tomorrow. We replay conversations. We fantasize outcomes. And as we do, the living present, the only moment that truly exists, slips quietly by. Unnoticed. This line from the GTH is your invitation to reclaim the present, to taste your food, to feel your footsteps, to hear the sounds of life around you, to wake up from the trance of distraction and anchor yourself in the only place where joy, peace, and healing are possible, the here and now. Every breath is a chance to begin again. Every moment is a new invitation to return. I am solid. I am free. These words hold a beautiful paradox. In Buddhist wisdom, true solidity is not the rigidity of stone, it is the groundedness of a deeply rooted tree. It's not about being unmoved by life's winds. It's about having a strong enough root system that you can bend without breaking, flow without losing your center. I am solid means I am grounded in presence. I am not lost in mental stories. I am here. I am safe. I am unshaken. I am free means I no longer need to escape myself. I am not enslaved by my thoughts, my past, or the pressures of the world. I can breathe. I can let go. When you live this line of the GTH, you discover the great spiritual truth that true freedom doesn't come from escape, comes from deep embodiment. You stop running from your emotions, and in doing so, you become truly free. In the ultimate I dwell. This final line carries the deepest resonance of all. The ultimate, in Buddhism, refers not to a place beyond the clouds or a distant heaven, but to the timeless, limitless awareness that exists beyond your thinking mind. It is the part of you that is untouched by fear, untouched by pain, untouched by change. It is the you that existed before your name, your roles, your story, to say. It is to dwell in the great spaciousness that watches all things, holds all things, and remains forever whole. This line is not meant to be understood intellectually, but lived and felt. You are not separate from the universe. You are a wave in the vast ocean of consciousness, and in the ultimate you already dwell. Practicing the GTH in daily life now that we've explored the depth of each line. How do we make this GTH part of our living experience? You don't need to. Be seated on a meditation cushion to practice. This GTH can be whispered, breathed, or felt in the 4 basic postures of life. Sitting next time you sit down in a chair, feel the support beneath you, and repeat quietly, I have arrived. I am home. Standing, when you rise from sleep, from work, from the table, stand with awareness. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel your spine lengthen and your heart open. Say softly, in the here, in the now, I am solid. I am free. Walking, whether it's a walk to the kitchen or a stroll in nature, let each step become a conscious homecoming. As your foot touches the earth, feel asterisk, I have arrived. As the other foot follows, feel I am home. Let walking become a meditational rhythmic chant echoing silently in your body. Lying down at night. As you lie down to sleep, this is the perfect moment to return to the GTH. Instead of replaying the day or planning tomorrow, feel your body melt into the bed, let your breath slow, and repeat gently, in the ultimate I dwell. You are safe. You are at rest. You are already home. Why this matters, this practice may seem simple, but it addresses something fundamental in the human condition. The chronic habit of running, even in our sleep. The nervous system, conditioned by years of stress, doesn't know how to let go, but every time you repeat this GTH, you are rewiring your nervous system. You are telling your body it's safe to stop. You are telling your mind you don't need to figure everything out right now. You are telling your soul you are already enough. The gift of coming home. As you integrate this practice into your daily life, you may begin to notice subtle changes. Your reactions soften, your breath deepens, your relationships become more present, your sleep becomes more restful, your joy becomes more accessible. You begin to live with greater spaciousness, greater presence, greater peace, and perhaps, for the first time in a long time, you feel that you have truly, finally, come home. Final whispers. So wherever you are, whoever you are, in the here, in the now, I am solid, I am free, in the ultimate, I dwell. Breathe them, live them, let them carry you back to yourself. You've arrived at a threshold, a quiet doorway between the noise of the outer world and the serenity waiting within you. Whether you're here because sleep eludes you, or because your days have become heavy with stress, or perhaps because your spirit longs for a deeper kind of stillness, you've found the right place. You are not alone in your search for peace. Thousands of people, just like you, from all corners of the world, have walked this path aching for rest, for silence, for the experience of being whole again. And today, I invite you to begin this journey home. Over the next 3 hours, we will gently explore practices so simple and natural, a child could follow them. Yet, within their simplicity lies the potential to reshape your inner landscape in the most profound ways. There's no special posture you must adopt, no advanced techniques. You don't need to clear your mind or become someone new. You only need to be here as you are and allow yourself to be guided. Let this be your time to rest, to breathe, to remember what it means to feel truly alive. And if it feels right to you, consider joining our global community of peace seekers. You can share in the comments where in the world you're listening from and what time it is for you. There is something deeply comforting in knowing that as you sit or lie here, someone across the ocean is breathing with you, held by the same desire for presence, anchored in the same longing for stillness. Setting the space before we begin, let's set the stage for your body and mind to unwind. Find the most nourishing position possible, perhaps lying down with a soft pillow under your head or sitting in your favorite chair wrapped in a warm blanket. Maybe dim the lights, light a candle, or sip some herbal tea. Let the moment be tender. You deserve it. And remember, what you're about to experience is not about controlling your thoughts or striving to feel a certain way. It's about surrender, returning, softening. It's about learning or remembering how to simply be with yourself with compassion, with openness, with no expectation other than to rest in your own presence. You see, most of us have been running all our lives, running from discomfort, running toward some imagined better version of ourselves, running to stay relevant, to stay useful, to stay afloat. We run during the day, and often we keep running in our sleep. But right now, I invite you to stop, to consider that the peace you've been pursuing perhaps for years is not somewhere out there in the future, waiting to be achieved. It is right here, in this very breath, in this exact moment. A simple yet profound mantra there is an ancient practice from Buddhist wisdom that can become your sanctuary, a place you can return to again and again. It begins with these words: I have arrived. I am home. In the here, in the now. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. These are not just poetic lines. They are keys. They are anchors. They are doorways back to yourself. When we repeat these words, not just as a mantra, but as an embodied truth, something beautiful begins to unfold. We stop seeking and begin arriving. We stop striving and begin living. And you can practice this anywhere while lying in bed, walking your dog, brushing your teeth, washing dishes. You don't need silence. You don't need time carved out on a calendar. All you need is the willingness to come home to yourself, to the moment, to the ground beneath your feet and the breath in your chest. Let's begin by exploring how to practice this sacred presence through the 4 foundational postures of life: sitting, standing, walking, and lying down. The 4 positions: practice sitting with presence. Let's Begin with the most familiar act, sitting. You do it countless times, each day when you eat, when you drive, when you work, when you relax. And yet, how often do you feel yourself sitting? How often do you fully arrive in the chair beneath you? So, right now, let's do that. Feel the weight of your body supported. Let the chair or floor cradle you without resistance. Notice how your spine naturally rises stable, yet gentle. Notice the points of contact where your body meets the earth. You're not sitting to get somewhere. You're sitting to be here. Let yourself breathe and silently repeat, I have arrived. I am home. And in this simple act of sitting, this returning you discovers stillness that nourishes you. Over time, sitting becomes more than a passive state. It becomes a conscious choice to pause, to honor life unfolding. Let it be a sacred pause. Let it be a ceremony of returning, standing in stability now. Bring attention to standing, the transition from sitting, a movement we often rush through. As you rise to your feet, do it slowly. Feel your body lifting, your spine stacking, your feet grounding into the floor. Your legs support you. Your balance adjusts naturally. You are upright, you are alive. And as you stand, say quietly or inwardly, I have arrived. I am home. Standing, too, can be a refuge. When life feels unstable or overwhelming, standing with presence becomes an anchor. In the midst of storms, you remember you are rooted, you are supported, you are here. Let this simple gesture of standing reconnect you to your strength and to the earth. Even in conflict or confusion, you can return to the stability of your own stance. You do not need to react. You can simply stand, present, awake, walking. As meditation now, imagine the miracle of walking. A movement so common, we rarely notice it. Yet every step is a quiet miracle dance of muscles, bones, and breath. When we walk mindfully, we don't walk to get somewhere fast. We walk to return, to reconnect, to re-inhabit the body we so often ignore. As you walk slowly or at your natural pace, feel each footstep. Feel the foot lift, move, and fall. Feel the ground receiving you. With every step, you can say, I have arrived. I am home. Left foot, I have arrived. Right foot, I am home. Walking becomes a rhythm, a prayer. And in this prayer, you remember, you don't need to rush. There is nowhere more important than right here. Walking meditation is especially helpful when your thoughts race, because your body moves, but your mind rests in each step. It becomes a bridge between doing and being, between movement and stillness. Lying down and restand. Finally, we come to the most restful posture, lying down. A moment that, for many of us, still holds tension. Even when our body reclines, our mind clings to thoughts, to worries, to unfinished tasks. But tonight, or whenever you lie down, you can invite true surrender. Feel your back soften. Weight melt into the surface beneath you. The earth is holding you completely. You are safe, you can let go. As your breathing slows, you may whisper inwardly, I have arrived, I am home. This is the medicine of deep rest. Not the kind of rest where you scroll your phone in bed or lie awake overthinking, but sacred rest, cellular rest, the rest your soul has been begging for. Let the body release its armor. Let your nervous system unwind. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to fix anything. You are already enough. Living a meditative life, practicing the 4 positions, standing, walking, lying down. Lying down invites meditation into your whole life. Not as a technique, but as a way of being. Your ordinary moments become sacred again. Transitions become thresholds. And stillness becomes something that travels with you no matter where you go. Over time, you'll notice you don't react the same way to stress. You don't spiral so quickly. You don't feel so lost in your thoughts, because now you have something stronger. You have presence. You have a home to return to. And no matter how loud the world becomes, you know the way back. Back to breath, back to body, back to this. Let's begin now. Let's begin this journey more deeply together. Take a slow breath in, let your shoulders drop, let your eyes close or soften. There is nothing you need to achieve, nothing you need to fix. You have arrived. You are home, you are safe here, and you are so deeply welcome. Let's begin. You found your way here, and I want to start by saying you are so deeply welcome. Whether this is your first time on this channel or you've been walking this path for a while, know that you've arrived in a space designed with your peace in mind. What I'm about to share with you has helped thousands, perhaps even millions of people gently untangle the tight knots of anxiety, soften the grip of constant inner pressure, and rediscover a quiet, steady place of peace that's been waiting within them all along. Maybe you found your way here tonight because sleep feels like a stranger. Maybe stress is chewing at the edges of your day. Or maybe, just maybe, you're simply tired of the noise, the pressure, the relentless motion of thought after thought after thought. Whatever brought you here, let me reassure you, you are not broken, you are not too late, and you are not alone. You've found exactly what you need. Over the next 3 gentle hours, we're not going to do anything complicated. No fancy techniques, no impossible goals. You don't need a special cushion. You don't need to sit like a monk, and you absolutely don't need to empty your mind. In fact, trying to silence the mind often adds more pressure. So we're going to try something radically different, something surprisingly simple and deeply human. We're going to remember how to stop running, creating a sacred space before we begin. Take a moment to get truly comfortable. Find a position that feels natural and safe to you. Maybe you're lying down on a soft surface, curled into a blanket, or simply sitting with your back supported and your feet grounded. Some people like to light a candle, dim the lights, or sip on something warm, maybe herbal tea, or just a comforting cup of water. There is no one right way to do this. There is only your way, and whatever makes you feel more at ease is perfect. This isn't about getting it right. It's about allowing yourself to arrive. The difference that changes everything. You may have tried many things before: meditation apps, breathing techniques, affirmations, therapy sessions, even distractions like endless scrolling or binge shows. But here's what makes this different. We're not going to fight against the thoughts. We're not going to resist the anxiety. We're not even going to label the inner chatter as wrong or broken. We're simply going to observe, to breathe, to be here, and in doing so, we'll begin to remember something that, deep down, you've always known. Your body and your breath carry the wisdom of generations. You already know how to return home. We just forgot the way. Understanding the habit of running, let's explore a quiet truth. Most of us are always running. Not physically, though that's sometimes part of it, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We're running towards something we can't quite name, running away from discomfort we haven't fully faced, running from moment to moment, task to task, distraction to distraction. You might not even realize you're doing it, because the running has become automatic. We run from morning until night, and even when we sleep, many of us continue to run. Our dreams are filled with chasing, striving, escaping. We wake up exhausted, not rested, because we never truly stopped. This constant motion has become the background noise of modern life. In Buddhism, we call this habit energy, the momentum of patterns repeated so often that they feel like who we are, but they're not. They're just patterns. And the most beautiful thing about patterns, they can be changed. This need to run didn't start with you. It was likely passed down through generations of well-meaning ancestors who were simply trying to survive. Maybe your grandparents worked tirelessly, holding multiple jobs. Maybe your parents were always busy mentally, emotionally, physically, and didn't have the luxury of stillness. It's not about blame, it's about compassion. You are the one who gets to pause the momentum. You have access to wisdom and healing that previous generations may never have been offered. And when you stop, even for a breath, you're not just healing yourself, you're healing them to stop the running. You'll need what the Buddha called strong will and big desire, but not the will that clenches its fists and demands change, not the desire that craves more possessions or praise. This is a soft will, a steady desire, a will to return again and again to this moment, a desire to rest in the miracle of being alive without needing to be anywhere else. When your desire for peace becomes stronger than your fear of discomfort, everything begins to shift. Often, the reason we keep running is that we're afraid of what will catch up with us. If we stop, fear, loneliness, grief, anger, emptiness. But the truth is, these feelings are never as dangerous as they seem. When you sit quietly and greet them with kindness, they lose their power. They're like waves that rise, crest, and fall away. And beneath them is a deep ocean of peace that has always been there. Your body doesn't live in yesterday or tomorrow. It lives only in now. Your breath is the bridge between your thoughts and your body. So we return gently, kindly to the breath. You don't need to control it. Just notice it, in, out, here, now. This simple act of noticing is the foundation of your healing. Each time you notice you're running and pause, you are doing something revolutionary. You're not failing when your thoughts wander. You're succeeding each time you return. You're strengthening what I like to call your presence muscle. Over time, this muscle gets stronger, and one day you realize you're no longer being dragged through life by anxiety. You're walking, breathing, choosing. Here's a phrase I want to offer you. It comes from a powerful mindfulness practice. I have arrived. I am home, in the here, in the now. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. You can whisper these words silently to yourself, in bed, while walking. In the kitchen, anywhere they are a doorway to deep presence. Let's try it now. Let your eyes close, or rest softly on one point. Bring attention to your breath. Whisper inside your mind, gently, I have arrived. Feel yourself land in this moment. I am home. Notice the safety in simply being here, in the here. Let go of the past, in the now. Release the future. I am solid. Feel your body grounded. I am free. Free from needing to be anything more. In the ultimate, I dwell. You are not just this moment. You are the awareness of it. Let those words settle into you like warm tea. Every time you choose presence over running, you are giving a gift, not just to yourself, but to your family, your friends, your community. You become a lighthouse. A quiet reminder that peace is possible. You model that it's okay to slow down, to rest. To feel this is sacred work. So now as we move deeper into this 3-hour journey, know this. There is no goal to reach. There is nothing to fix. You are already whole. You are already home. Let's continue together as we gently breath. By breath, rediscover the beauty of being right here. Stay with me. You're not alone. You are welcome. You are loved. You are safe. Let's begin again and again and again. Samatha, the practice of stopping. Now we come to the heart of this ancient practice, something that has been treasured in Buddhist tradition for over 2,000 years. The word is samatha. And while it might sound exotic or foreign, it points to something beautifully simple, deeply human, and immediately accessible to anyone, regardless of background or belief. Sam, ATHA, means stopping, not just pausing or taking a break, but a full, embodied, conscious stopping. It may be the most essential skill for human flourishing, and yet it's rarely taught in schools, rarely encouraged in our productivity-driven culture. We are trained to value doing, producing, achieving. Our identities often become entangled with how much we get done, how many goals we hit, how quickly we move forward. But stopping, that's often dismissed as laziness, idleness, or worse, weakness. And yet, in Buddhist practice, stopping is understood not as a failure to achieve, but as the very foundation for insight, peace, and transformation. What is true stopping? To truly stop means to allow both body and mind to come into the same place at the same time. It means to stop chasing the future and stop replaying the past. It means to stop resisting the present moment, to stop the inner commentary, to stop the subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, clenching against life as it is. Most of us think we're stopping when we watch television, scroll our phones, or take a vacation. But in those moments, our minds are often more scattered than ever. Our bodies might be still, but our thoughts are racing. Or, conversely, our minds might be calm, but our bodies remain tense and restless, unable to fully settle. True stopping is when the body and the mind arrive together. When the breath deepens, when the shoulders soften, when the thoughts are allowed to float by without being followed, when the compulsive need to do dissolves into the spaciousness of simply being. The interbeing of body and Minden Buddhist thought, the body and the mind are not two separate things. They inter, meaning they co-arise, coexist, and deeply influence each other. The state of your body affects your mind. The state of your mind affects your body. There is no true peace of mind without peace in the body, and no true relaxation of the body without a calm and settled mind. This is why samatha practice always includes the body. We don't meditate with our minds alone. We bring the full presence of our physical form into the practice. We feel the weight of our body on the cushion or the chair. We notice where we are holding tension. We invite the body to soften, to ground, to rest. As we do this, the mind often follows. When you stop and rest consciously, you begin to retrain your nervous system. You remind your body that it doesn't have to be on high alert all the time. You remind your mind that it doesn't have to be solving problems every moment. You return to your original nature, a place of spacious awareness, open presence, and quiet joy. The resistance to stopping, one of the greatest challenges in samatha practice, is confronting the deeply ingrained resistance to stopping. In modern life, many of us are addicted to activity. Even when we want to stop, even when we know we need to rest, we feel guilty, uncomfortable, or anxious. Our minds have been conditioned to associate stillness with uselessness. Our bodies are so used to being in motion that stillness feels unfamiliar, even threatening. This resistance is not a personal failure. It is a learned pattern, and like all patterns, it can be unlearned through conscious, compassionate practice. With time and patience, your body can remember what it means to relax. Your mind can remember what it means to rest. You are not trying to impose something unnatural. You are simply uncovering your inherent capacity for peace. Stopping as the ground of insight in Buddhist teaching, stopping is not an end in itself. It is the foundation for seeing clearly. This is where the relationship between samatha and vipassana becomes essential. Samatha is stopping. One prepares the ground for the other. When we stop the momentum of mind and body, we create the space necessary for insight to arise. We become less reactive, less entangled in habitual thought loops, less driven by unconscious fears and desires. In that space, we begin to see clearly, only into our own inner workings, but into the nature of reality itself. Without stopping, insight is shallow or impossible. Without insight, stopping can become stagnation. We begin to fly. The peace that was always there. One of the most revolutionary insights that can emerge from samatha practice is this: what you are seeking is already here. The peace, the clarity, the joy, the ease. It's not something you have to achieve, import, or fabricate. It is your natural state. It's what remains when you stop disturbing it. This turns the whole notion of spiritual seeking on its head. Instead of striving to become something, you begin to realize that the only thing required is to stop obscuring what you already are. You're not trying to attain peace, you're simply learning to stop disturbing the peace that is already within you. This understanding leads to a profound shift in how you relate to your practice. No longer striving, no longer grasping, you begin to rest. Free time. You just need a willingness to stop. Start with the breath. The breath is always available, always in the present, always happening now. You can't breathe in the past. You can't breathe in the future. You can only breathe now. So begin by noticing your breath. Feel it as it enters your nose, travels down into your lungs, expands your belly. Feel the release as you exhale. Don't try to control your breath. Don't judge it, just feel it. Let it be your anchor as you breathe. Notice what your body is doing. Is there tension in your shoulders? Are you clenching your jaw? Can you soften? Can you relax your belly? Let the breath guide the body into a more relaxed, open state. And when your mind wanders it will gently bring it back. Don't get frustrated. Don't tell yourself you're doing it wrong. Your samatha meditation. It involves pairing simple phrases with your breathing. Breathing in, I arrive in the present moment. Breathing out, I feel it is a wonderful moment. These phrases are not meant to be affirmations or commands. They are gentle invitations. They help align your breath, body, and awareness. They infuse your practice with a sense of loving kindness and ease. Stopping in daily life samatha is not limited to sitting meditation. It can be practiced in any moment of life. When you are walking, you can walk with awareness. When you are eating, you can eat with awareness. When you are listening, speaking, washing dishes, driving, waiting in line, all of these can become opportunities to stop and return to the present. This is the miracle of mindfulness. It transforms the ordinary into the sacred. It turns the mundane into the miraculous. It reminds you that every moment is a doorway into freedom. Over time, the practice of stopping becomes second nature. You begin to live from a place of deeper presence. You respond to life rather than react to it. You cultivate a spaciousness that allows both joy and sorrow to move through you without getting stuck. You become more patient, more grounded, more compassionate, because you are trying to be those things, but because stopping has revealed them as your natural qualities. Healing through Rousseau, much of our suffering comes from the inability to stop. We exhaust ourselves chasing after things we think will make us whole. We wear ourselves out trying to fix what was never broken. We move so fast that we forget to feel, to listen, to love. Samatha offers a different way. It invites you to rest, not just physical rest, but a deep inner resting, a resting into being, a resting into trust, a resting into the great mystery of life. This rest is profoundly healing. When you stop, your body begins to repair. Your mind begins to integrate. Your heart begins to open. You become more whole, more human, more alive, coming home in the end. Samatha is not about becoming something other than what you are. It's about coming home, home to the breath, home to the body, home to the present moment, home to your true self. Each moment of stopping is a step on the path home. Each breath of awareness is a thread in the tapestry of awakening. Each time you return to now, you are reclaiming your life. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to fix yourself. You don't have to become enlightened. You just have to stop, and in the stopping, everything you've been searching for is already here. Welcome home. Wherever you are listening from, whether you're curled up in bed with weary bones or sitting quietly after a long day, I want you to know something. You are deeply welcome here. Take a slow, easy breath in. Let it expand gently into your chest. Exhale softly. Let the weight of expectations begin to fall away. You've entered a space where healing doesn't require effort, where peace doesn't require perfection, and where wisdom is not something outside of you but within you. Right now, within your body, there lives an intelligence so profound, so intricate, that even our most advanced scientific instruments can barely begin to grasp its elegance. This intelligence is your birthright. It's not something you have to earn. It's not something only enlightened or special people possess. It is the quiet, pulsing rhythm that lives within your breath, your heartbeat, your cells. This is your natural healing wisdom. You were born with it. It was operating the moment you took your first breath, and it has never stopped. No matter what you've been through, no matter how disconnected you may feel right now, this wisdom is still within you, waiting patiently for your return. A simple cut, a sacred reminder. Let's begin with something you've likely experienced many times. Imagine you're preparing a meal. You're slicing a tomato, maybe humming softly to yourself. Your attention drifts for just a moment, and suddenly a slip. The blade nicks your finger. A tiny cut opens immediately, without conscious instruction. Your body responds, blood flows, cleansing the wound. Pain signals alert you not to punish you, but to bring awareness to the area that needs care. Platelets rush to the site. The clotting process begins. In the hours and days that follow, a quiet miracle unfolds. Tissue rebuilds, skin renews, and in time, the wound closes. You didn't tell your body how to do this? You didn't micromanage your blood chemistry or direct your cells where to go? Healing happened on its own, as it always does, through the deep, innate intelligence that lives inside you. This same intelligence that mends a paper cut has the capacity to support healing in every layer of your being, not just your skin and muscles, but your nervous system, your emotional body, your spiritual essence. But here's the key. You must create the conditions for healing. And in our modern world, we've forgotten how what the wild still knows. Let's turn now to the natural world. Picture a deer in the forest. It's been injured, maybe a scrape on its leg, maybe a sprain from a fall. What does it do? It doesn't Google remedies. It doesn't panic or rush around trying to fix itself. The deer simply lies down in a quiet, safe place. It lets its body go still. It breathes, it rests. It does nothing but trust in doing. So, it gives its system the exact conditions needed for healing to begin. Stillness, safety, presence. We humans once knew how to do this too. Our ancestors knew how to stop, how to listen to the body's signals, how to trust pain as a messenger, not an enemy. But somewhere along the way, amid the noise of productivity and pressure, we stopped listening. We began to treat our bodies like machines, broken when tired, weak when hurting, in need of constant correction. But healing doesn't require correction. Healing requires permission. Permission to rest, permission to feel, permission to let go. So, let's begin to remember, right now. Together, the sacred act of stopping. I invite you to come into a posture of comfort. You can lie down, sit upright, or lean gently into your favorite chair. Let your body feel safe and supported. Close your eyes if you like, or simply soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. And again, in and out. Feel your shoulders drop, your jaw soften, your belly loosen. There's nothing you need to do. There's nowhere else you need to be. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be. Now, bring your awareness to your body, not as a collection of separate parts, but as one whole, living, breathing organism. This body, this skin, these bones have carried you through so much, and they are still here faithfully, miraculously keeping you alive. A loving body scan, awakening, healing with awareness. Let us now journey through the body with what I like to call loving awareness, not to analyze or fix, but to witness and honor. Start at the top of your head. Breathing in, I am aware of my head. Breathing out, I smile to my head. Feel the scalp, relax. Let the forehead loosen. Let go of the need to think or plan. Let the mind rest. Now bring awareness to your eyes. Breathing in, I am aware of my eyes. Breathing out, I thank my eyes, how much beauty they've allowed you to see. Even if they are tired or blurry, they have served you well. Let them rest now to the ears. Thank you for hearing music, laughter, the voice of loved ones, and your mouth. Thank you for allowing me to speak, to nourish myself, to kiss and smile and cry. Now gently scan down the neck, the shoulders. If there is tension here, meet it with kindness. You don't need to force it to release. Just let it know you see it. You care. Dot your arms, your hands. What have they carried today? What have they held? Breathing in, I am aware of my hands. Breathing out, I thank my hands for all they do. Down through the chest and ribs, arrive at the heart. Pause here. Dear heart, you've been beating every moment of my life, even when I wasn't listening, even when I was rushing. Thank you. Let your awareness flow to the stomach, the liver, the intestines. These organs work in harmony, tirelessly processing, filtering, transforming. I see you. I honor your labor. I'm sorry if I've neglected you. I want to listen now. Scan the hips, the legs, the knees, the feet. Thank you for carrying me, for holding my weight, for grounding me to the earth. Take a deep breath now. Let this full body awareness expand. From head to toe, you are not parts. You are one whole being. You are alive, and that is the most sacred miracle of all. The nervous system, shifting from survival to healing in our daily lives, many of us live in what's known as sympathetic dominance, the fight or flight mode. In this state, healing is not the priority. The body is on high alert, storing tension, releasing stress hormones, bracing against perceived threats. But when you rest like this consciously, with loving awareness, you shift into the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state. This is where healing happens. This is not just relaxation, it's recovery, rejuvenation, repair. Each time you return to this practice, you're giving your body the signal. It's safe now. You can begin to heal. Healing is not about perfection. It's easy to think that healing means fixing, that something needs to be made perfect or pure. But true healing is about wholeness, not perfection. It's about welcoming all parts of yourself, even the tired, hurting, aching ones in, saying, you belong. You are not a mistake. You are worthy of love, especially now. This is the deepest medicine, more powerful than pills, more nourishing than diagnoses, more enduring than any external treatment. Bringing the practice into daily life, you don't need hours of free time or silence to connect with your healing wisdom. You can do it right in the middle of your life, when you're washing dishes. Thank you, hands. When you're stuck in traffic, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. When anxiety flares, place your hand on your heart and whisper, it's okay. I'm here with you. These are not small things. These are revolutionary acts of inner kindness, and when practiced regularly, they change everything. In closing, you are the healer you've been waiting for. Let this truth settle deeply now. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are not beyond healing. Within you lives a wisdom older than time, a wisdom that knows how to mend skin, balance hormones, release fear, and return to love. You don't need to understand it fully. You don't need to control it. You only need to remember it tend return. So take this practice with you. Let it become a sacred part of your life. Return to your body with love. Rest with intention. Listen to the quiet wisdom within. Trust that. Your healing doesn't require striving, just space, softness, and presence. And always remember, you are the healer you've been waiting for. Welcome home. Mindful breathing for healing your breath is the most intimate companion you will ever have. It has been with you since the very first moment of your life. The moment you emerged into this world, before you had language, before you had thoughts, your body knew to breathe. And it will remain with you until your final exhale. Breath is the silent witness to every joy, every sorrow, every discovery, and every challenge. Yet most of us go through our lives barely noticing it. We become entangled in our thoughts, distracted by our screens, overwhelmed by our responsibilities, and in doing so, we lose contact with this most essential aspect of ourselves. But your breath is always here, always waiting, always ready to bring you back. What makes your breath so special is that it is always in the present moment. You can recall a memory from yesterday or imagine something that might happen tomorrow. But you cannot breathe yesterday's breath, nor can you jump ahead to tomorrow's inhale. You can only breathe here, now. This truth makes the breath the most accessible doorway to presence, clarity, and deep healing, and yet, there is something even more miraculous about this simple, continuous act. When you bring conscious awareness to your breathing, when you breathe not out of habit or necessity, but as a practice of returning, arriving, and honoring life, your breath transforms into medicine, real medicine, a healing balm for the body, the heart, and the mind. Right now, as you read these words, your lungs are softly drawing in oxygen, fueling every cell, nourishing every organ, and releasing carbon dioxide back into the world. This silent miracle repeats itself more than 20,000 times a day, and yet we rarely stop to acknowledge it. Your breath is a sanctuary in Buddhist teachings and many contemplative traditions. There is a simple, profound practice of breathing that invites us to return to ourselves. This practice does not require effort or belief. It simply asks us to notice. Breathing in, I relax my body. Breathing out, I smile to my body. This may seem small, simple, almost too gentle to matter, but that is the point. In the rush and noise of modern life, we often overlook the subtle and the sacred. When you pause and truly feel your breath, you create space, space to heal, space to feel, space to be. Breathing in, the power of arrival. In our fast-paced world, we are constantly on the move. Our minds race forward to what we must do next or spiral backward into what we should have done differently. We rarely give ourselves permission to simply arrive, to fully land in the only moment we ever have. The in-breath is a perfect reminder that now is enough. When you breathe in with awareness, you are not just filling your lungs. You are saying, I am here. I choose to be here. I choose to inhabit this moment, this body, this breath. Try it now. Take a slow, gentle breath in. And as you do, silently say to yourself, breathing in, I relax my body. Feel what changes, not in theory, but in sensation. Your shoulders may soften. Your jaw may unclench. Your belly may become less guarded. This is not a command. You are not making yourself relax. You are inviting it. You are creating the inner conditions where ease can arise when we are constantly striving our body's grip. When we are fighting life, our nervous systems brace. But when we breathe with presence, we say to our bodies, you are safe now. You may let go. Breathing out, the medicine of a smile. The out-breath is often where the magic happens. While the in-breath brings in nourishment, the out-breath is your opportunity to release, to soften, to let go of the holding and the tension that accumulate throughout the day. And when you accompany your exhale with a soft inner smile, a gesture of appreciation or gratitude toward your body, you begin to rewrite your relationship with yourself. Breathing out, I smile to my body. Not because your body is perfect, not because it is free from pain, but because it has carried you. It has stayed with you. It has loved you, even when you forgot to love it back. This smile is not performative. It is not forced. It can be internal, subtle, like a warm light that gently touches your cells. Over time, this practice becomes deeply joyful. You discover that breathing with awareness is not just calming, it is pleasurable, it is grounding, it is sacred. Nervous system regulation, a biological bridge. One of the reasons conscious breathing is so powerful is because of its immediate impact on your nervous system. When you breathe in a shallow, rapid pattern, which often happens when you're stressed, afraid, or multitasking, your body interprets this as a sign of danger. It prepares for fight or flight. But when you breathe slowly, deeply, and mindfully, especially with long exhales, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest, repair, digestion, and healing. This is not a metaphor, it is biology. Your breath is the only automatic function of your body that you can consciously control. This makes it a direct bridge between your mind and your physiology. Every slow breath tells your body, we are safe now. You may rest, you may heal. Breathing through emotions. Compassion in action. Difficult emotions are an inevitable part of life. Sadness, anger, anxiety, grief, loneliness, they all visit us. And too often, we resist them. We numb out, we escape, we overthink. Mindful breathing offers a different way. You can breathe with your emotions, not against them. You can hold them gently, the way you might hold a crying child, not to silence them, but to soothe them. Breathing in, I acknowledge the sadness. Breathing out, I hold it with compassion. You are simply being present with it. This radical permission to feel can be profoundly healing. Emotions like breath are waves. They rise, they peak, they fall. When you meet them with breath and presence, they can move through you without drowning you, your breath, and the subconscious mind deep within you. Beyond your conscious awareness, your subconscious is constantly working. It stores your memories, your beliefs, your patterns, your traumas, and your wisdom. When you breathe consciously, you send a message to your subconscious. It is safe to soften. It is safe to release. It is safe to integrate. Breath becomes a bridge. It connects the known and the unknown. It unites the mind and body. It awakens the spirit. This is why many people find that mindful breathing improves sleep, enhances intuition, and opens the door to insight and creativity. Breathing, with physical pain, whether acute or chronic, can feel all-consuming. It can become a wall between you and the rest of the world. But breath can soften even the sharpest edges. Breathing in, I acknowledge this pain. Breathing out, I send care to this place. Again, the goal is not to erase the pain. It is to change your relationship with it. When you fight pain, it often becomes worse. But when you breathe with it with curiosity, tenderness, and presence, you often find a new spaciousness around it. And within that space, healing becomes possible. The lesson of impermanence. Your breath is a constant reminder of the truth of impermanence. Each breath comes and goes. Each inhale is followed by an exhale. Each moment arises and dissolves. This teaches us not to cling, not to resist, but to allow life to flow. Your thoughts are like breath, your emotions too. Everything arises, peaks, and fades. When you live in alignment with this truth, you suffer less. You become more fluid, resilient, more at peace. Each breath is a complete meditation. You do not need to retreat to a monastery or sit for hours to meditate. Each conscious breath is a doorway to awakening. In this breath, I arrive. In this breath, I am whole. Mindful breathing is the most portable, accessible, and transformative spiritual practice available. You can do it anywhere, on a crowded train, at your desk, in bed, or in nature. With practice, your breath becomes a sanctuary, a refuge, a friend that walks with you through every joy and every challenge. A breath-centered life. As you weave conscious breathing into your daily life, you begin to notice a shift. You respond more than react. You listen more deeply. You feel more grounded and less overwhelmed. You remember what matters. When difficulties arise, you return to your breath. When beauty arises, you savor it with your breath. When decisions arise, you pause and breathe. Let this be your practice. Start where you are, one breath at a time. In the morning, begin with 3 deep breaths before reaching for your phone. During the day, take mindful breathing breaks, even just for 30 seconds. In conversation, pause and breathe before responding in moments of stress. Lengthen your exhale. Before sleep, breathe slowly, and smile to your body. These small acts of presence ripple through your entire life in the end. Your breath is not just keeping you alive, it is inviting you to truly live. Let it remind you that you are here, that you are enough, that healing is possible, that peace is within reach, and with every breath, let yourself return home to your body, to this moment, to the deepest truth of who you are. The farmer and seeds body scanning practice in the ancient Buddhist teachings. There's a beautiful and evocative image that has guided countless practitioners into one of the most healing meditative techniques known to humanity. It is the image of a wise, compassionate farmer who has cultivated his land for many seasons, who knows the soil beneath his feet with a kind of intimacy only patience and loving effort can bring. He knows each seed, each shift of weather, each rhythm of harvest and rest. Let us take a moment and step into his world. Imagine this farmer at the close of the harvest season. The sun has dipped low in the sky, and golden light spills over the fields where life once burst into form. He walks down into the cool cellar of his farmhouse, where burlap sacks, brimming with seeds, are carefully stored for the next planting. He selects one of the bags, a heavy one, and carries it up to a room lit with the soft amber glow of a solitary lamp. In the quiet stillness, he opens the sack and pours its contents gently onto the wooden floor. With care and reverence, he begins to sort them. His eyes are not hurried. His hands move with deliberate grace. These, he whispers to himself, are kidney beans, recognizing the dark, curved seeds. And these, mung beans, he says, admiring the round olive green specks. Corn kernels shine beside grains of rice. Each seed is seen. Each one is acknowledged for what it is. He does not wish that the rice were corn, nor does he judge the mung beans for their small size. He simply sees what is. He understands the sacredness in their uniqueness, the potential each one holds for life, for nourishment, for regeneration. This wise farmer is not just a character from a parable. He is you. He is all of us when we choose to turn our attention inward with loving mindfulness. This story forms the foundation for the practice of body scanning, which is so much more than a relaxation technique. It is an act of deep communion with yourself, a sacred returning to your own body with the eyes of the loving farmer, without judgment, without hurry, without any desire to fix or change, simply to see, to recognize, to bless, an invitation to return to the body. Most of us live much of our lives in our heads, chasing thoughts, replaying memories, strategizing futures. We move through the world, often disconnected from the very vessel that carries us, only turning attention to it when pain strikes or fatigue forces us to pause. And even then, we may view our bodies as obstacles rather than allies. But your body is not a machine. It is not an inconvenience. It is a field of living wisdom, constantly communicating, constantly adapting, constantly striving to support you. And it deserves your attention, your compassion, your deep listening. Beginning the practice, begin this journey of loving awareness. Find a quiet place where you can lie down comfortably. It might be a bed, a mat on the floor, or a reclining chair. What matters is that your body feels supported and safe, that you are not exerting effort to hold any posture. Let yourself settle. Let gravity cradle you. The earth beneath you holds your weight with ease, asking nothing in return. This is your first moment of surrender. Now take a few slow breaths. Breathing in, feel your chest rise. Breathing out, feel your body soften. Just a little more. Say to yourself quietly, breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I smile to my whole body. This is like greeting an old friend who's been with you through everything, every joy, every sorrow, every ordinary moment in between. For many people, simply arriving in the body in this way brings a wave of emotion. You might feel gratitude, sadness, tenderness, or even regret for having been away so long. Let all of it be welcome. Let every feeling be a seed. The journey through the body just as the farmer examines each seed. We will move through the body from head to toe, pausing with attention, acknowledging each part, and offering it a moment of loving recognition. Breathing in, I am aware of the top of my head. Breathing out, I smile to the top of my head. The crown of your head is where so much subtle energy enters your awareness. Feel the skin there, perhaps the sensation of air, the presence of hair. Breathing in, I am aware of my scalp and hair. Breathing out, I smile to my scalp and hair. Your hair protects, insulates, adorns. Without effort, it grows. Breathing in, I am aware of my forehead. Breathing out, I soften my forehead. Let any tension here melt away. Perhaps you carry worry or stress in this place. Let it be recognized. Breathing in, I am aware of my eyes. Breathing out, I smile to my eyes. Your eyes have brought you images, light, faces, colors. If they are tired, offer them rest. If they are aching, offer them tenderness. Breathing in, I am aware of my ears. Breathing out, I smile to my ears. These humble listeners have carried every song, every word of love or learning. Breathing in, I am aware of my cheeks, nose, and mouth. Breathing out, I smile to my face. Your face is your presence to the world. It has smiled, laughed, cried. Let it be seen. Let it be loved. Breathing in, I am aware of my jaw. Breathing out, I release my jaw. So many of us hold tension here. Feel how it softens with your awareness. The neck, shoulders, and arms. Breathing in, I am aware of my neck and throat. Breathing out, I smile to my neck and throat. Feel how your throat allows you to speak your truth, to express emotion, to nourish yourself. Your neck supports your head all day long. Breathing in, I am aware of my shoulders. Breathing out, I release the weight from my shoulders. Let the burden go, even if just for this moment. Breathing in, I am aware of my arms. Breathing out, I smile. To my arms, breathing in, I am aware of my hands. Breathing out, I thank my hands. Your hands have touched, held, created. They carry so many stories. The chest and heart. Breathing in, I am aware of my chest and lungs. Breathing out, I smile to my lungs. Feel the breath filling your lungs. Your lungs are the bridge between the world and your body. Breathing in, I am aware of my heart. Breathing out, I smile to my heart. Place your hand on your chest. Let yourself feel the rhythm of your own beating heart. It has never stopped for you. Let this moment be a blessing. The abdomen and organs of digestion. Breathing in, I am aware of my stomach. Breathing out, I send kindness to my stomach. Let go of judgment about how your stomach looks. Think only of the nourishment it has absorbed. Breathing in, I am aware of my liver. Breathing out, I thank my liver. Breathing in, I am aware of my pancreas. Breathing out, I smile to my pancreas. Breathing in, I am aware of my intestines. Breathing out, I send them love. These organs work constantly to keep you alive. Let them be honored, the pelvis and reproductive organs. Breathing in, I am aware of my reproductive organs. Breathing out, I offer them kindness. This part of your body holds life force, creativity, sexuality. Whether you carry pain or pride here, let it be received in compassion. The legs and feet. Breathing in, I am aware of my hips. Breathing out, I smile to my hips. Breathing in, I am aware of my thighs. Breathing out, I thank my thighs. Breathing in, I am aware of my knees. Breathing out, I soften my knees. Breathing in, I am aware of my calves. Breathing out, I smile to my calves. Breathing in, I am aware of my feet. Breathing out, I thank my feet. Your feet have walked you through your life's journey. They carry your entire weight. Let them rest now. Let them feel seen. Resting in wholeness, now take a few moments to rest in the awareness of your entire body as one, not parts, not systems, a whole being, an ecosystem, a miracle. Breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I smile. to my whole body, let yourself bask in this field of presence. No part needs to be different. Everything belongs. Closing the practice. When you feel ready to return, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently stretch. You may place your hands over your heart and whisper, "Thank you, Bodhi. Thank you for carrying me. Thank you for being my home." And as you rise and go about your day or evening, carry this loving awareness with you. It changes everything. It is your deepest ally. Like the wise farmer, you can return to this practice whenever you need healing, whenever you feel disconnected, whenever you long to feel whole. This is the path of remembering. This is the journey home. Welcome, dear soul, to a practice that offers not only rest for your body, but a refuge for your entire being, total deep relaxation. This sacred tradition, rooted in the timeless wisdom of the Buddha and gently held by generations of practitioners, is an invitation to remember what it means to truly rest. Not the kind of rest we pretend to take when we collapse into our beds with phones in our hands, minds racing with unfinished to-do lists, but the profound, cellular kind of rest that reaches every fiber of your being. This is a return, a homecoming, a remembering. In our modern world, where productivity is idolized and busyness is worn as a badge of honor, true rest has become a radical act. We are so accustomed to living in a constant state of mild alarital, ozon, always stimulated, that we've forgotten the feeling of deep, uninterrupted stillness. Our muscles remain subtly engaged. Our nervous systems buzz with unspoken tension. Even as we sleep, our dreams often mirror our unrest. And yet, there is another way, a gentler path, a way of being in which relaxation is not something we must earn, but something we simply allow. Total deep relaxation is this path. As we begin, find a position that allows you to feel utterly supported. Perhaps you are lying on a yoga mat, a bed, or a firm but welcoming couch. Use pillows or bolsters under your knees if that helps your lower back soften. Drape a blanket over your body if you wish to feel warm and held. Make whatever adjustments you need so your body understands. It is completely safe now to let go. Now, gently close your eyes, or, if that feels uncomfortable, allow your gaze to rest on a single unmoving point. Take a slow, deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Exhale the. Acknowledge the sacred intention of this practice. You are not here to perform. You are not here to fix anything. You are here to listen, to release, to trust in the healing that arises when you stop doing and start being. Begin by bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. Imagine a wave of soft golden light slowly descending from above, touching the top of your scalp. Feel the skin on your head begin to soften. Let go of any subtle holding here. Allow your forehead to smooth, your eyebrows to relax. Let your eyes settle back gently into their sockets. They have been scanning, processing, protecting all day long. Let them rest. Now, let your cheeks soften, your jaw unclench. Perhaps let your mouth fall slightly open. Notice if your tongue is pressed against the roof of your mouth, and if so, allow it to rest gently. With each breath, invite your face to melt a little more. Bring this awareness to your neck and throat. These are areas that often hold unspoken words, swallowed emotion, the weight of expression. Let your throat soften. Let your neck lengthen and release. Perhaps you feel a sense of space here. Now, the shoulders, these strong guardians of your daily life. How often do you carry burdens here, physical and emotional alike? Imagine these burdens falling away like a heavy cloak slipping from your back. Let your shoulders drop, melt, widen. Allow this softening to flow into your arms, down your biceps, through your elbows, into your forearms and wrists, into your palms and all 10 fingers. Let your hands curl naturally, without effort. Notice how it feels to surrender the work of your hands. Bring awareness to your upper chest. With your next inhalation, gently invite your breath to expand the space around your heart. As you exhale, imagine the breath carrying away any emotional residue, any tightness. Let your heart rest. Notice your breath now. Is it deeper? Slower? If not, that's okay. There's no right way. Let the breath come and go like waves on a quiet shore. Now bring your attention to your abdomen. This is the seat of your intuition, the storehouse of so much unspoken emotion. Imagine a warm, nurturing presence here. Let your belly rise and fall freely with the breath. Release eddy holding. Let your digestive organs rest. Move your awareness to your lower back and pelvis. These foundational structures support you every day. Imagine the muscles here uncoiling like vines. Let your hips release into gravity. Let your sacrum sink. Travel now down your thighs, your knees, your calves. These strong legs that have carried you. Let them be heavy. Let your knees soften, your calves release, and finally, your feet. Notice the soles, the arches, each toe. Imagine tension dripping out of your feet and into the earth. You are grounded now. Held in this state of complete surrender, your body begins to remember. It remembers how to heal. It remembers how to rest. It remembers how to be. If the mind wanders, that's okay. Gently guide it back, not with force, but like you would guide a small child back to bed in the night. Come back to the breath, come back to the body, come back to the now. Rest in this space, this sacred, silent sanctuary. Nothing is required of you here. You do not need to change or improve. You are enough. You are whole. Feel your entire body as a field of awareness, a living, breathing miracle. Rest here, rest deeply, rest completely. As we begin to close this practice, do so slowly, no rush. Begin by deepening your breath. Feel the air expand in your lungs. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Rotate your wrists, your ankles. Roll your head gently side to side. When you are ready, bring your hands to your heart or to your belly, somewhere that feels nourishing. Feel the quiet pulse of life moving through you. Offer yourself gratitude for showing up, for allowing rest, for remembering your true nature. As you open your eyes or lift your gaze, carry this deep rest with you. Let it ripple into every moment of your day. Know that you can return to this practice anytime. The doorway is always here within you. This is total deep relaxation. This is your medicine. This is your home. Thank you for practicing. The true test of any spiritual practice is not just how peaceful or calm you feel during formal meditation, but how that inner peace gently unfolds and ripples through the ordinary, everyday moments of your life. The beautiful secret of Buddhist wisdom is this: every action you take, every gesture you make, every breath you breathe can become an opportunity for healing, awakening, and profound connection. It may surprise you to learn that you don't need to set aside hours of your busy day for special meditation sessions alone. When you cultivate the art of living meditatively, the entire fabric of your daily life transforms. Each moment, no matter how seemingly trivial or mundane, is an invitation to come home to yourself, to touch the ever-present peace beneath the surface of the busy, restless mind, the illusion of ordinary moments. What if I told you there are no ordinary moments? The idea of something being ordinary often means we've stopped noticing it, taken it for granted, or become so habituated to it that it slips by unnoticed. But every breath you take, every step you make, every bite of food you eat, these are not just routine acts to check off your to-do list. They are precious portals to presence. This understanding is the beginning of a gentle revolution within. Instead of rushing through life caught in the endless cycle of doing and planning, you begin to discover that your whole day is a meditation hall. Your entire life becomes a sacred retreat, a continuous practice of awakening. A meal is meditation. Let's start with something everyone does: eating. Most of us eat while distracted, scrolling on our phones, watching the television, answering emails, or running through the mental list of tasks for the day. Meals become fuel stops, moments to quickly fill our bodies without much awareness. But imagine what changes when you make eating a practice of mindful presence. You sit down at your table not simply to consume calories, but to engage in a meditation of gratitude, awareness, and joy. This single shift in attention can revolutionize not just how you eat, but how you live. Consider taking 20, 25, or even 30 minutes for your breakfast. It may seem like a luxury, but what you're really doing is giving yourself the gift of deep relaxation. You're training your nervous system to shift out of stress mode and into rest mode. To begin your day from a foundation of calm rather than haste, sit down as if you have nowhere to be and nothing to do except receive nourishment. In this moment, you are free from worries, deadlines, and distractions. This is not laziness or irresponsibility. It is radical self-care that will make you more effective and peaceful for everything that follows. Take your first bite slowly, deliberately, as if tasting food for the very first time. Feel the texture, the temperature, the subtle flavors unfolding on your tongue. Notice the miracle that this simple act of eating keeps you alive and well. Each chew becomes a moment of gratitude. Each swallow, a recognition of nourishment. Mindful eating isn't about dieting or restriction. It's about coming home to the intelligence of your body, noticing when you are satisfied, when you need more, when you've had enough. This deepened presence with food cultivates self-trust and respect for your body's wisdom. This practice can transform every meal. Lunch becomes a moment to pause and reconnect during a busy day. Dinner becomes a bridge to rest and restoration in the evening, bringing presence to everyday actions. But mindful living extends far beyond eating. Every ordinary task offers an opportunity for healing and awareness when performed with presence. Take washing dishes, for example. Many consider it boring or tedious, but when done with full attention, it becomes a moving meditation. Feel the warm water running over your hands, the slippery bubbles shimmering in the light. Notice the transformation of dirty plates into clean, ready-for-use tools. Each dish, cup, or utensil holds the story of a shared meal, nourishment received, and connection made. By caring for these objects with gratitude and tenderness, you are practicing appreciation for the simple blessings that support your life. The repetitive motions of washing dishes, when accompanied by mindful breathing and attention, become a flow of meditative movement. Your mind can rest from busy thoughts as you arrive fully in the present moment, allowing even the most ordinary chores to become sacred. Similarly, walking offers countless opportunities to cultivate presence. Each time you move through space, whether crossing a room, walking down the street, or stepping outside for fresh air, you can make this a meditation in motion. Mindful walking isn't about slowing down or changing your pace necessarily. It's about consciously bringing awareness to the physical sensations of walking. The contact of your feet on the ground, the rhythm of your steps, the movement of your legs and arms. With each step, you can say silently, "I have arrived. I am home." You don't need to be anywhere else but right here, right now. Even brief moments of mindful walking have the power to shift your state of being. Walking from your car to your office with awareness can help you arrive at work with calm and clarity. Walking to the bathroom or kitchen can be a mini meditation that refreshes your body and mind, transforming your relationship with time. One of the most profound gifts of this practice is how it changes your experience of time. When you are fully present, you stop living in the painful gap between where you are and where you think you should be. You realize this moment, just as it is enough. This simple realization loosens the grip of stress and anxiety that comes from feeling perpetually behind or inadequate. You begin to understand that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to be doing. This acceptance is healing. Breath as your anchor throughout your day, your breath is your constant companion. Breathing happens automatically, but when you bring conscious awareness to your breath, it becomes a powerful tool for arriving in the present moment. Whether you are sitting in a meeting, waiting in line, driving, or lying in bed, your breath is always accessible as a doorway to calm and centeredness. You don't need to breathe in any special way or take time away from your activity to practice mindful breathing. You can simply notice your breath as you do whatever you're doing. Taking 3 conscious breaths can shift your state from overwhelmed to peaceful, from scattered to focused, from stressed to calm. A continuous stream of healing moments. The beauty of extending your practice into daily life is that it creates a continuous stream of healing moments. Instead of 1 or 2 formal meditation sessions, you have dozens of opportunities every day to touch peace, to come home to yourself. To practice presence, your whole life becomes a retreat, a sanctuary of awareness. This doesn't mean you must be mindful every moment. That would be exhausting and unrealistic. It means you begin to notice opportunities for presence and take them when they arise. Some moments you will be fully present. Others your mind will wander, and both are perfectly okay. The practice is not about perfection, but about returning again and again, gently and patiently. Each time you notice your mind has wandered, and you bring it back to the present moment, you strengthen your capacity for presence. Each time you remember to breathe consciously, to walk mindfully, or eat with awareness, you cultivate the skill of living from peace rather than stress, changing your baseline of peace over time. As you bring mindfulness into your daily activities, you may notice a shift in your baseline emotional state. You begin to feel peaceful most of the time, with stress arising only occasionally, a reversal from feeling stressed most of the time, with rare moments of calm. This doesn't mean you become passive or disengaged. Rather, you learn to be fully engaged with life while remaining rooted in a deep well of inner calm. The ripple effect of presence. Your mindfulness practice not only transforms your own experience, it changes how you show up for others. When you listen with full attention, speak from calm-centeredness, and move through your world with peace, others sense this deeply. You become a source of healing and calm in your family, your workplace, and your community. This ripple effect is one of the most beautiful aspects of spiritual practice. You don't need to preach or try to change others. Simply embodying peace invites them to remember their own capacity for calm. Children especially respond to authentic presence. When you are present with children, they often become calmer, more centered, learning through your way of being that life can be engaged from a place of peace, living from presence, healing the world. Remember, every conscious breath, every mindful step, every bite eaten with presence carries healing energy. This healing is not just for you, it radiates out, touching the world around you. When you live from presence rather than stress, moving through your day from peace rather than anxiety, you contribute to the healing of collective human consciousness. This practice is always available to you in every moment. In every activity, your life becomes your meditation hall. Your daily routine becomes your spiritual practice. Your ordinary actions become gateways to extraordinary peace. This is the gift of Buddhist wisdom, not an escape from life, but a complete transformation of how you engage with life. Now we come to one of the most profound questions you will ever ask yourself. Are you truly present for your own life? Or are you constantly running chasing some other moment, some future promise, some imagined better place? This is not merely a philosophical inquiry, it is the most practical, urgent question you can ask, because the answer determines the quality of your existence. Whether you are really living, fully awake and embodied, or merely existing in a kind of wakeful sleep, trapped in a continuous cycle of distraction and haste. To be fully present means that your body and mind are aligned in the same place at the same time, right here, right now. It means your physical presence is not disconnected from your mental and emotional awareness. You are not sitting in your chair while rehearsing tomorrow's challenges in your mind. You are not walking through your neighborhood while replaying yesterday's conversations over and over. Instead, you are completely here, fully available to this moment, to this breath, this sensation, this experience of being alive. The rarity of true presence yet. For most of us, True presence is surprisingly rare. We might catch fleeting glimpses of it, a few seconds of wonder when a sunset stops us in our tracks, a burst of genuine laughter with a loved one, or a moment absorbed completely in an activity we enjoy. But these moments are often exceptions rather than the rule. Most of the time, we live in what could be called a split reality. Our bodies are here, but our minds are somewhere else, elsewhere in the past or the future. This division creates a profound problem. If you are not present for your own life, who will be? If you are not here for yourself, for your body, for your feelings, for your immediate experience of being alive, then you are essentially a stranger to yourself. You miss your own life unfolding, the precious unfolding of your own story. Your body needs you here right now. Your body is speaking to you. It sends countless signals, messages about comfort and discomfort, energy and fatigue, nourishment and depletion. But if you are not present, you simply miss these signals. You may push yourself through exhaustion instead of resting. You may ignore hunger rather than eating mindfully. You may carry tension rather than releasing it. Without your presence, your body becomes a neglected friend, a vehicle running on empty. Your emotions long for attention. Your feelings also require your full presence. Throughout the day, emotions rise and fall like waves on an ocean. Joy, sadness, frustration, gratitude, fear, love. These emotions carry vital information about your life, your relationships, your needs, and your boundaries. When you are running toward the next moment, these emotional messages go unheard. The wisdom encoded in your feelings remains locked away, leaving you disconnected from yourself, the whisper of your inner wisdom. Perhaps most importantly, your deeper self, the quiet center within that knows what truly matters, needs your attention. This inner wisdom does not shout. It whispers through subtle sensations, gentle insights, and quiet knowing. When your mind races constantly toward somewhere else, this delicate voice is drowned out. You cannot hear the guidance it offers, nor respond to the call to live more fully. Presence in relationships. When you are not present for yourself, you cannot fully be present for others. Your family, friends, and colleagues may have your body's company, but your mind's absence is felt deeply by them. Think about what it means to be truly seen and heard. When someone looks at you with undivided attention, listens without preparing, their reply stays emotionally present without rushing to fix or change anything. This presence is nourishing and rare. Contrast that with being with someone whose eyes are glued to their phone, whose mind is scattered with concerns. Even if their words seem attentive, their absence is palpable, and it leaves you feeling disconnected, unseen, and alone. The tragedy of running this is what happens in your relationship with yourself when you are constantly running. Physically present, but mentally absent, you miss the subtle joys, the quiet beauty, and the simple satisfaction of being alive. Gifts, freely available in every moment when you are truly here. The tragedy is that while you run towards some imagined, better moment, you miss the wonders that surround you now. The vast blue sky, the birdsong outside your window, the warmth of a loved one sitting beside you. These miracles go unnoticed because your mind is caught in worry about tomorrow, regret about yesterday, or endless planning. Buddhist wisdom on presence. In Buddhist teaching, all the wonders of life exist only in the present moment. This is not a poetic exaggeration, it is a literal truth. You cannot see a sunset in the past or future, only now. You cannot feel love, joy, or peace, except in this present instant. You cannot touch the sacred, the beautiful, or the meaningful, except through the awareness of now. What some call the kingdom of heaven, or in Buddhism, the Pure Land, is not a distant place you visit after death. It is available right here, right now, the moment you stop running and become fully present. The gift of arrival, the peace you seek, the love you long for, the feeling of coming home you chase, all of this is here, waiting patiently. you learn to truly arrive. But stopping the habit of running is not always easy. Running has become automatic. Many do not even realize they are doing it. They believe they are living, but in truth, they are trapped in a restless mental race, never fully arriving in their own experience. Some people live decades in this state of constant motion, carrying their own absence wherever they go, like sleepwalkers moving through the motions without waking fully. Why we run this is not anyone's fault. We live in a culture that values doing over being, achievement over appreciation, progress over presence. From childhood, we are taught that worth comes from productivity, that value is measured by accomplishments, and that happiness lies in future success or acquisitions. But Buddhist wisdom offers a radically different perspective. The radical teaching of presence it says that everything you seek is already here, available in this moment, if only you will stop long enough to notice. You don't need to become someone else, achieve something more, or change your circumstances to access peace, joy, and contentment. You simply need to stop running and be present, becoming a lighthouse. The beautiful thing is that when you learn to be truly present, you become a lighthouse for others, a living example of what is possible. Your presence becomes a teaching. When you stop running, you offer an invitation for others to remember their own capacity to stop and arrive. You can help rescue those lost in their running simply by being present with them. The gift of your attention when you give someone your full attention, listening with your whole being without rushing to fix, change, or judge, you give a precious gift. You show them what presence feels like, and this can awaken their own longing to come home to themselves. This is how healing spreads, not by preaching or convincing, but by embodying the peace and presence that others recognize as the home they have always sought. Practice of returning to presence. The practice is simple, yet profound. Whenever you notice you are running mentally or emotionally, pause, ask yourself, what is actually happening right now? Not what you think should be happening, not what might happen, but what is present in this moment. Usually, you will find this moment is manageable, even pleasant. You are breathing, which means you are alive. You are aware, which means you have consciousness and choice. You are here, which means you have the opportunity to engage with life directly instead of living through your thoughts about it. Discovering the wonders of now when you recognize what is truly present. You begin to see the wonders that are always available. The blue sky waiting for your gaze, the bird song or distant laughter calling for your attention, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the rhythm of your breath flowing in and out, the steady beating of your heart in your chest. These simple realities, though often overlooked in the drama of worry and planning, reveal themselves as profound sources of peace and joy when met with full presence. The choice is yours. Choice between running and presence is always available. You can continue the exhausting habit of racing toward somewhere else, or you can practice the revolutionary act of arriving where you are. You can keep searching for life in the future, or you can discover the life happening right now, this moment. Exactly as it is your only opportunity to be fully alive. This breath, this heartbeat, this instant of awareness is where your life is truly happening. Carrying the kingdom of heaven within. When you stop running and arrive fully, you discover that you have been carrying the kingdom of heaven within you all along. You only needed to stop long enough to notice. Our birthright and natural state. When you stop running and open fully to these gifts, you discover you have been surrounded by miracles all along. This is your birthright as a conscious being, to live in constant contact with the healing, nourishing, and beautiful elements of existence. This is what it means to dwell in ultimate reality, to live in the kingdom of heaven, to find your home in the pure land of the present moment. It is not a special achievement reserved for saints or sages. It is the natural state of any human who has learned to stop and truly arrive in their own life. Closing blessing may you carry this practice of recognition and deep contact into every day that follows, may you remember that healing is always available when you know how to look and how to receive. And may your peace and presence become a gift to all the lives you touch. As we near the close of this journey together, we arrive at one of the most beautiful, tender, and transformative aspects of mindful living, learning to recognize and make deep contact with the healing elements that surround you in every moment. This is not about searching for something extraordinary, mystical, or out of reach. Instead, it is the gentle awakening to the profound nourishment and restorative presence that already exist in the simple, ordinary garden of your daily life. Invitation to stop and be present. When you practice stopping, truly pausing, when you learn to be fully present, a remarkable shift begins to occur. You start to notice things that have been there all along but were invisible to your racing mind. Your habitual mental running often blinds you to the subtle sources of healing that patiently wait for your attention. Give thought right now. As you listen to these words, there are countless healing elements available to you. Perhaps you can hear birds singing outside your window. The sound of birdsong is not merely background noise. Throughout human history, it has been recognized as a natural balm. Something in our nervous system instinctively understands bird calls as a signal of safety, of natural harmony. When you truly listen, not passively, but as a conscious practice of deep contact, something profound shifts in your being. Your breath naturally slows. Your shoulders soften. Your mind expands and becomes spacious. You are no longer just hearing sounds. You are receiving a transmission of peace from the natural world, a world that remembers how to live without anxiety or struggle. The healing sounds of nature. Maybe you also hear the wind moving softly through the leaves, swaying, or the distant flow of water in a nearby stream. Even the ambient hum of life in your neighborhood, voices, footsteps, the occasional distant laughter. These sounds carry healing frequencies. When you really listen, they can restore balance to your nervous system. But to receive these gifts, you must stop the mental running long enough. You must open your heart and mind to receive, not just note. The vast sky and its lessons. If the sky is visible, take a moment to look at its vastness. The blue sky has been waiting for you to notice its spacious, unchanging presence. Clouds may drift, storms may come and go, but the sky itself remains clear and vast, patiently holding space for all weather. When you look at the sky with present moment awareness, it becomes a mirror for your own essential nature, feelings, and emotions. Trees, teachers of patience and strength. Trees, whether you see them outside your window or remember their form from a recent walk, offer profound lessons about patience. They grow slowly and wisely, adapting to seasons, bending with storms without breaking. Trees give oxygen and beauty freely, without asking for anything in return. When you truly observe a tree, you are reminded what it means to be grounded, yet flexible, generous, yet self-sustaining. To embody the balance of strength and softness, endurance and grace. Mountains as symbols of stability. If you only remember or imagine mountains, they stand as symbols of unshakable stability. Mountains weather every season and storm, remaining fundamentally unchanged beneath the shifting skies. When you contemplate mountains, you connect with the part of yourself that cannot be disturbed by temporary difficulties or changing circumstances. You touch your own inner solidity beyond recognition. The power of deep contact. Hit recognition alone is not enough. The true healing comes from deep contact, allowing yourself to truly receive what these elements offer. This means slowing down long enough to not just notice the birds, the sky, the trees, and the earth, but to fully open yourself to their presence and their gifts. When you listen deeply to flowing water, you can invite its qualities of fluidity and movement to flow through your own being, releasing whatever is stuck or stagnant within. Feel the wind on your skin. You can imagine it blowing away old worries, refreshing your spirit, and filling you with vitality. This practice of recognition and deep contact becomes a form of spiritual nutrition, feeding your mind and heart with the pure energy of nature's wisdom and calm. Facing toxic elements in modern life, this practice is especially vital in our modern world, where we are constantly exposed to what might be called toxic elements. Every day, through news media, social media, conversations, and even our own thought patterns, we are invaded by energies of anger, fear, despair, and hatred. These elements are not nourishing, they drain vitality and cloud natural peace. All too often we allow these poisonous energies to penetrate deeply into our consciousness without realizing it. We watch news that fills us with anxiety, scroll through social media that triggers comparison and inadequacy, engage in conversations that leave us feeling depleted. We permit children to absorb these toxins, believing this to be the normal price of modern living. The choice, nourishment or toxicity, but Buddhist wisdom teaches that we have a choice. Pollution offered to us, or we can practice conscious recognition of what nourishes versus what depletes. We can learn to protect our inner environment as carefully as we protect our physical health. This is not about denying the reality of problems or becoming isolated. It is about approaching life from a foundation of inner stability and peace rather than constant reactivity and overwhelm. When you are grounded in the healing elements of the present moment, you respond to life's challenges with wisdom, not panic or fear. The practice of recognizing nourishment and toxicity. The practice begins by recognizing when toxic elements invade your mind and when healing ones are available. Throughout your day, pause to ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind and heart right now? Is this conversation, this media, this mental activity nourishing my peace or disturbing it? When you realize you are consuming something toxic to your inner environment, you can consciously choose to return to what heals. Step outside. Feel the sun's warmth on your face. Listen to birds singing. Look at flowers or trees. Practice conscious breathing. Return to your body and reconnect with the miracle of being alive. Finding healing, even in urban space, is even in the most urban environments. Healing elements are available if you learn to look for them. A small plant on a windowsill holds the same life force as a vast forest. A patch of sky glimpsed between buildings offers the same infinite spaciousness as an open prairie. The sound of rain on pavement can be as soothing as rain on leaves. The key is learning to receive these gifts consciously rather than taking them for granted. The power of deep seeing and feeling. When you see a flower, don't just glance and move on. Stop for a moment and really look at it. Notice its colors, its delicate structure, the perfect unfolding of its petals. Allow yourself to be amazed by the intelligence that creates such beauty from earth, water, and sunlight. When sunlight warms your skin, don't just accept it as a physical sensation. Recognize that you are receiving energy that has traveled millions of miles through space to nourish you. Let yourself feel gratitude for this cosmic gift, the source of all life on earth, spiritual nutrition, feeding mind, body, and soul. Practice of deep contact with healing elements becomes a form of spiritual nutrition. Just as your body needs healthy food to function well, your mind and spirit require contact with beauty, peace, and natural harmony to stay balanced and clear. When you feed yourself regularly with these nourishing elements, you build natural immunity to the toxins of anger, fear, and despair. Becoming a source of healing, you also become a source of healing for others. Connected to the peace and beauty around you, you radiate a calm presence that others feel deeply. You become like a clear lake reflecting the sky. Others see in you the possibility of their own peace and clarity. Children, especially, respond to this authentic presence. Model what it means to be nourished by life instead of stressed and depleted. The ripple effect of presence. This practice ripples outward in ways. You contribute to the healing of collective human consciousness. You vote for peace over violence, beauty over ugliness, love over fear, invitation to practice as our time together draws to a close. And notice the healing elements available to you in this moment. Perhaps it is the breath moving in and out of your lungs, the gentle temperature on your skin, the sounds of life happening nearby. Maybe it is simply the fact that you are safe enough to listen, to contemplate, to care for yourself, making deep contact now. Whatever healing elements you recognize right now, allow yourself to make deep contact, not just noticing them with your thinking mind, but opening your whole being to receive their gifts. Let them remind you that no matter the challenges you face, the Garden of Eden is still available here and now. The wonders of life are not waiting for a perfect future moment. They are present in this breath, this heartbeat, this moment of awareness. Very moment, as healing as our time together gently comes to a close, I want to leave you with a truth, one of the most essential and transformative understandings that this journey has brought to light. It is a truth simple enough to be missed, yet profound enough to change everything. It is possible for you to live every single moment of your daily life in such a way that every moment becomes a moment of healing. This is not some distant ideal, a beautiful vision that remains forever out of reach. No, this is a practical reality you can begin to experience immediately, right here, right now, exactly where you are, with whatever circumstances you may be facing in this very moment. The power of presence in every breath you take can be a breath of healing if you breathe it with conscious presence. To breathe with awareness is to draw peace, clarity, and calm into your body and mind. With each inhalation, you invite life's restorative energy to flow within you. With every exhalation, you release tension, stress, and worry that no longer serve you. This simple act, breathing with awareness, holds the power to transform any moment, no matter how ordinary or difficult, into a sacred space of healing and renewal. Walking home to yourself, every step you take can bring you home to yourself when you walk with awareness. Walking becomes more than a physical act. It becomes a meditation, a ritual of return. Each footfall grounds you, connects you to the earth, and invites your scattered attention back to the present. When you walk mindfully, you are not lost in thought or distracted by worries about the past or future. You are fully here, your body, mind, and heart arriving in this moment, opening to the richness of simply being alive, turning everyday activities into meditation. Every activity you engage in, whether washing dishes, brushing your teeth, eating a meal, or working at your desk, can become a meditation if you offer it your full attention. When you bring your entire being to whatever you are doing, you transform even the most mundane task into a gateway to presence, calm, and healing. The secret may seem too simple, even ordinary, so much so that your mind might want to dismiss it. Yet this simplicity is the profound wisdom discovered by the Buddha and verified by countless practitioners through centuries of experience. The healing available when you stop running the piece, you seek the healing you need, and the sense of truly being at home in your life, all of this becomes available. When you stop running and surrender completely to the present moment, you do not need to change your life circumstances before you access this healing. You do not need to solve all your problems, become a different person, or achieve some special spiritual state. You only need to remember what you have learned here today, how to arrive, how to stop, how to breathe with awareness, how to treat your body as a beloved friend, how to recognize the healing elements that surround you, always bringing healing into tomorrow. As you make your first step, let it carry the power of healing and relaxation. Tomorrow afternoon, as you breathe in, make your breath carry the energy of stopping, arriving, and coming home to yourself. Tomorrow night, when you lie down, practice total deep relaxation, allowing your body and mind to rest in the ultimate refuge of present moment awareness. Embracing imperfection on the path is not about being perfect or remembering to practice every moment. Some days you will remember often, some days you will forget completely. Both are part of the journey. The practice is not about constant vigilance. It is about gentle returning, again and again, to the peace that is always available when you stop running, healing beyond yourself. If it's time, you choose presence over distraction, stopping over running, and awareness over unconsciousness. You are not only healing yourself, you are contributing to the healing of our entire human family. When you embody peace, you make peace more possible for everyone around you. When you live from presence, you give others permission to remember their own capacity for awareness and calm. The ripple of authentic presence here, children, your partner, your friends, your colleagues, even strangers you pass on the street can sense when you are truly present. When you have stopped the inner running and arrived in your own life, you radiate a quality of authentic presence so rare in our world that people are immediately drawn to it. You become like a lighthouse, offering others a glimpse of what is possible when you learn to be at home within yourself. The voice of wisdom from within. The voice of the Buddha does not speak only through ancient texts, but also from your own direct experience. When you practice these teachings, when you breathe with healing awareness, walk with arriving presence, and rest with complete surrender, you hear the voice of wisdom that comes from deep within your own being. This wisdom is not foreign or exotic. It is your own deepest nature remembering itself. Gratitude for the journey together. I want to sincerely thank you for taking this journey with me, for opening your heart to these ancient teachings, for being willing to explore what it means to truly stop and arrive in your own life. Whether you came seeking better sleep, stress relief, healing from anxiety, or were simply curious about Buddhist wisdom, you have discovered something far more precious, the doorway to living every moment from peace rather than struggle. You now have everything you need. You now know how to use the sacred gateway to arrive in any moment. I have arrived. I am home in the here, in the now. I am solid. I am free in the ultimate. I dwell. You understand how to practice with the 4 positions of daily life, how to scan your body with loving awareness, and how to breathe as medicine for your heart and soul. Most importantly, you have tasted what it feels like to stop running and rest in the vast spaciousness of simply being alive. Returning to this taste again and again, this taste will stay with you, calling you back whenever you remember it, reminding you that no matter how busy or stressful life becomes, this refuge of peace is always available. The choice in every moment as you return to your daily life, carry with you the understanding that every moment offers you a choice. You can continue the old pattern of constant running, always on the way to somewhere else, always waiting for life to begin. Or you can choose the revolutionary path of presence, of stopping, of allowing yourself to finally arrive in the life you are actually living. The wonders of existence are here now. The wonders of existence are not hiding from you. They are waiting patiently for you to slow down enough to notice. The healing you seek is not in some distant future, when everything is perfect. It is available right now, in the simple miracle of conscious breathing. The home you long for is not a place you need to travel to. It is where you are when you truly arrive in the present moment. Blessings for the future. May every breath you take from this moment forward be a breath of healing. May every step you make be a step toward greater presence and peace. May every moment of your life become an opportunity to practice the profound art of being fully alive, heartfelt. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to walk this path with you. May you find your way home to yourself again and again. In every precious moment that follows, may your peace become a gift to our beautiful, struggling world. The journey continues, and now the journey continues, one conscious breath at a time. Chapter 1. The nature of the present moment. A doorway to liberation. In today's hyper-connected, overstimulated world, many people find themselves caught in a persistent storm of thoughts, regrets about the past, and anxieties about the future. The present moment, though always available, is often ignored. It seems too simple to be powerful, too quiet to be important. And yet, According to the teachings of Buddhism, and especially Zen, the present moment is not only the most important reality, it is the only reality that truly exists. When Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, sat beneath the Bodhi tree over 2,500 years ago, he wasn't seeking some distant heaven. He was learning to see things as they truly are in the here and now. That enlightenment experience, the deepest awakening a human being can know, was not about escaping the world. It was about fully entering the moment with total awareness, presence, and peace. Buddha discovered that suffering arises from our refusal to accept the present moment and our craving for things to be different. But when we surrender to what is, without clinging or aversion, we touch the heart of reality. The present moment is often described in Zen literature as the gateless gate, the entry to liberation that has no barrier other than our own mind. We walk past it every day without noticing. Why? Because we are searching elsewhere in the future, in the past, in the stories we tell ourselves. Zen invites us to stop searching and start seeing. Let us first understand what the present moment is. It's not a second or a clock tick. It is the whole of existence expressing itself right now. When you are truly in the now, you are not thinking about being in the now, you are simply present. Thoughts, feelings, and sensations arise and pass, but you are rooted in a still awareness that witnesses them all. This awareness is your true nature. Think of the sky. Thoughts are like clouds. They come and go, but the sky remains. The more we identify with the clouds, the more we suffer. But when we recognize ourselves as the sky, vast and open, peace, Don's Thich Nhat Hanh said, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. This attentiveness is the essence of mindfulness. When we are present, we see things clearly, a flower, a smile, a pain, a memory, without adding extra stories. We meet life directly, and in this direct meeting, healing happens. Why do we resist the present? One might ask, if the present moment is so healing, why do we avoid it? There are many reasons. Fear of stillness. In stillness, our thoughts become loud. We fear what we might find within. Conditioning. From early on, we are taught to seek, chase, improve, and achieve. This pulls us into the future. Regret and trauma. Painful memories tether us to the past. Distraction culture. The world constantly pulls our attention away. News, phones, entertainment. But underneath all this is a more subtle fear, the fear of surrendering control. Being fully present means letting go of the illusion that we can predict or control what comes next, and the ego resists this. It wants to plan, compare, and analyze. It lives in time, in the past and future. The now is ego's death and the soul's birth. The science behind presence. Modern neuroscience confirms what Buddhism has taught for millennia. Studies show that mindfulness and present moment awareness reduce stress, lower inflammation, improve immunity, and enhance emotional regulation. When we are fully present, the default mode network in the brain associated with rumination quiets down. Our nervous system shifts from fight or flight to rest and digest. Healing begins. But more than science, presence offers something science cannot measure. Peace, that deep, silent joy that arises not from doing, but from being. A Zen story. The teacup. A young man visited a Zen master to learn about enlightenment. As the master poured tea, he kept pouring even when the cup overflowed. "Stop!" cried the student. "Can't you see the cup is full?" "Exactly," said the master. "You are like this cup, full of your own thoughts and ideas. Until you empty your cup, you cannot taste the tea. The present moment is the tea, but we cannot taste it while we're full of mental chatter. We must become empty and receptive. Daily practices for surrendering to the now. Mindful breathing. Sit comfortably, breathe in, and silently say, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathe out and say, breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. This anchors you in now. Walking meditation, walk slowly. With each step say, I have arrived. M, home. Feel each footstep, the air. The sounds. Single dash tasking : do one task at a time with full attention. Washing dishes, brushing teeth, drinking tea. Notice the sensations, smells, and thoughts. Body scan, lie down or sit. Bring awareness to each part of your body from feet to head. Observe without judgment, reflections and journal prompts. What sensations are present in my body right now? What am I feeling emotionally? What thoughts are passing through my mind? Can I allow all of this to be without changing or fixing anything? The present moment invites us to be honest, raw, and real. It doesn't require perfection. It simply asks us to show up present moment in Buddhist scriptures. The Dhammapada Buddha says, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Another passage states, a disciplined mind brings happiness. This discipline is not harsh. It's the gentle effort to return, again and again, to the now. Even if you wander 1,000 times, the moment you return, you are home, the present, as a healing medicine. When we are present, our body receives attention, our emotions receive validation, and our spirit receives rest. Trauma from the past finds space to be seen and released. Anxiety about the future loses its grip. Presence doesn't solve all problems, but it reveals that we are not our problems. We are the awareness that sees them. This shift from identification to observation is where healing begins. Imagine holding a crying child. You don't yell at the child to stop crying. You hold them, soothe them, and say, I'm here. Now imagine doing that for your inner child. That's what presence does. Quotes: to contemplate, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. Eckhart Tolle, the only Zen you find on the tops of mountains is the Zen you bring up there. Robert M. Pirsig, drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if it is the axis on which the world revolves. Thich Nhat, hand closing invocation. Let us close this chapter with a short, mindful invocation. May I awaken to the miracle of this moment. May I let go of the stories, the fears, and the clinging. May I rest in the stillness beneath all things. May I trust that here, in this breath, all is well. The doorway to liberation is always open. It does not require a passport, a ritual, or a belief. It only asks that we enter. The key is surrender. The path is presence. The destination is here. In the next chapter, we will dive deeper into the illusions that prevent us from staying in the now and how letting go becomes our greatest form of healing. Chapter 2. The Illusion of Control. Letting go to healing the vast landscape of human suffering. One recurring theme often appears: the desire to control. From the moment we wake up until we go to bed, most of our actions, thoughts, and emotions revolve around trying to shape life according to our expectations. This desire is deeply human, deeply embedded, and yet profoundly limiting. Buddhism teaches us that the root of suffering is attachment, not only to people and things, but to outcomes, stories, and illusions. One of the most seductive illusions is the belief that we can control everything. It gives us a temporary sense of security. But this security is fragile, built on shifting sands. Why do we crave control? Control offers the illusion of predictability. It helps us believe that if we just try hard enough, plan thoroughly enough, worry intensely enough, we can avoid pain. We can escape failure, loss, and grief. But here's the truth, Zen reveals: life is not meant to be controlled. Life is meant to be lived. The moment we try to grasp it too tightly, it slips through our fingers. Like water in a clenched fist, it escapes. But when we open our hands, when we let go, we find peace. Zen Buddhism does not ask us to become indifferent, or passive. It asks us to let go of false control and enter the rhythm of life. This rhythm is not chaotic. It is deeply intelligent, deeply harmonious, but not always in line with our personal desires. The more we surrender, the more we see this harmony unfolding. Control and the ego. The ego is that part of the mind which creates an identity based on separation. Me versus the world. Me versus others. Me versus life. The ego thrives on control because it fears vulnerability. To be open to life is to be open to unpredictability. And to the ego, unpredictability is dangerous. But healing does not come through ego. Healing comes when we allow our masks to fall and sit with what is raw, real, and unfiltered. This allowing is the essence of surrender. Consider this. Have you ever tried to fix someone? To force someone to love you? To control the outcome of an event through overthinking? And did it work? What did it cost you? Zen teaches that every time we cling, we suffer. Every time we resist the natural flow, we suffer. And every time we surrender, even if just for a moment, a spaciousness enters. The power of letting go. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means giving in to life's intelligence, to your inner wisdom, to the present moment. Letting go is not weak. It is brave. It means you stop trying to control the wave and learn to surf it. Story from the Zen tradition. A monk was crossing a river when a strong current swept him downstream. He thrashed and struggled, gasping and flailing. Just before he drowned, he let go fully. Instead of fighting the current, he surrendered to it. To his surprise, the river carried him gently to shore. This story illustrates an essential truth. When we resist life, we suffer. When we flow with it, we arrive exactly where we need to be. Control in relationships, one of the areas where control creates. The most pain is in our relationships. We try to control how people see us, what others feel, how partners behave, what children become. But people are not projects. They are souls on their own journeys. When we attempt to control someone else, we do two things. We disconnect from our own inner peace. We deny them the dignity of their own path. The more we release others from our expectations, the more love can flow. Unconditional love, the highest form of healing, arises not from control, but from surrender. Health and surrender even in our physical health. The illusion of control can be harmful. We try to control every calorie we eat, every symptom we experience, change in our body, while healthy habits are wise. Obsession is not. Many people develop anxiety from trying to micromanage their health. Zen invites us to care for the body with love, not fear. To move, eat, rest, and breathe from presence, not panic. When illness arises, surrender becomes even more important. It doesn't mean we stop seeking treatment. It means we stop resisting the reality of what is. This acceptance allows the body to heal more deeply. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, smile, breathe, and go slowly. Meditation for letting go. The river meditations. Sit in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Imagine a gentle river. Visualize placing all your worries, plans, fears, and expectations into small boats. One by one, let them float down the river. Watch them go. Breathe deeply. Say silently, I release. I surrender. I trust to do this daily, even for 5 minutes. Letting go is not an event. It is a practice. Each day, we unclench a little more. Each moment, we return to presence. Questions for reflection. What am I trying to control right now in my life? Is it working? What would happen if I trusted life just a little more? What am I afraid would happen if I let go? Often, what we fear is not the outcome, but the unknown. Yet the unknown is where all possibility lives. Creativity, love, peace, these do not arise from control. They arise from surrender. Zen and the art of acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation. It is spaciousness. It is the recognition that This moment, as it is, contains everything you need. Even if pain is present, when you stop resisting it, it transforms. A Zen student once asked a master, "How can I deal with my suffering?" The master replied, "When hungry, eat. When tired, sleep." The student was confused. "But everyone does that." "No," said the master. "When hungry, people think of other things. When tired, they worry. That is the problem." Freedom in uncertainty Zen teaches us to befriend uncertainty, to sit in the not knowing with open hands, to find freedom not in answers, but in presence. The moment you stop demanding that life makes sense, you begin to experience its beauty. Life is not a puzzle to be solved. It is a dance to be lived. Let go of the script. Embrace the improvisation. Let go of control. Embrace the unfolding. Let go of the illusion. Embrace the truth. Closing contemplation today, I release my grip. I loosen the chains of expectation. I let the river of life carry me. I trust the flow. I surrender to now. I allow healing to happen naturally and gently in the next chapter. We'll explore how mindfulness becomes the bridge between suffering and serenity, and how it leads us directly into the heart of the present moment. Chapter 3. Mindfulness as a portal. Entering the now with awareness of surrender is the doorway to the present moment. Then mindfulness is the key that opens it. In Buddhism, especially Zen, mindfulness is not a tool for productivity or self-improvement. It is the art of living. It is the sacred practice of aligning fully with what is. But what does it mean to be mindful, and why is it so essential to healing? Mindfulness, in its purest form, is the moment-to-moment awareness of our thoughts, emotions, sensations, and surroundings. It is not about changing what we feel, but about witnessing it honestly and compassionately. Zen master Shunryu Suzuki famously said, "When you do something, you should burn yourself completely, like a good bonfire, leaving no trace of yourself." This intensity of presence, total absorption in the now, is mindfulness. It is not passive. It is alive, radiant, and transformative. The foundations of mindfulness in the Satipatthana Sutta. The Buddha laid out 4 foundations of mindfulness. Mindfulness of the body, Kyonapasan, mindfulness of feelings. Vidanyunupasanan, mindfulness of the mind, Cittanupasanan, mindfulness of mental objects, Dhammanupasan. These aren't just intellectual concepts, they are invitations to explore your direct experience. 1. Mindfulness of the body. This includes breath awareness, postures, and the awareness of bodily sensations. In Zen, practitioners often engage in Kinhin walking meditation and Zazen seated meditation to cultivate this presence. When you feel your breath moving in and out, when you notice the sensation of your feet touching the earth, you reconnect to the only reality that matters. This moment, practice. Sit in stillness. Place attention on the breath. Notice the rise and fall of your abdomen when the mind wanders. Gently bring it back. Do this not to achieve anything, but simply to be here too. Mindfulness of feelings. Feelings arise in every moment, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. The practice here is to notice them as they are, without adding stories. You may notice a tightness in your chest, sadness, a lightness in your belly, joy, a dullness in your limbs. Fatigue, name them silently. This is sadness. This is joy. Allow them. Do not cling. Do not push away. 3. Mindfulness of the mind. This involves observing the state of the mind. Is it restless? Calm? Focused? Distracted? Just watching the mind helps disidentify from it. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness in which thoughts arise. For mindfulness of mental objects, this includes observing the deeper aspects of experience, the 5 hindrances: desire, aversion, sloth, restlessness, doubt, the 7 factors of awakening, and the 4 noble truths. This level of mindfulness opens the door to insight, vipassana, where you begin to see through the illusion of separateness and permanence. Mindfulness is healing. When you are mindful, you stop resisting you stop creating unnecessary stories. And in that moment, healing begins. For example, pain in the body often becomes worse when we tense up or catastrophize it. But when we bring mindful awareness to it, the pain softens. We discover that while the pain is real, the suffering added by the mind is optional. Jon Kabat-Zinn, founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, says, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." Mindfulness teaches us to surf life's waves without drowning in them. Every day, mindfulness is not limited to the cushion. It is a way of being. When eating, taste each bite. Chew slowly. Be aware of textures and aromas. When walking, feel the ground. Notice the air. Sense your body moving. When listening, really listen. Don't prepare your response. Let the other's words wash over you. In Zen monasteries, even cleaning is done mindfully. Washing a bowl becomes a sacred ritual. Why? Because everything is sacred when you are truly present. Obstacles to mindfulness there are 5 traditional hindrances: sensual desire, craving for pleasure or will, aversion or resentment, sloth, and torpor, heaviness, laziness, restlessness, and worry, agitation, doubt, lack of confidence in the path. These arise often. The key is not to resist them, but to recognize and name them. This is restlessness. This is doubt. Awareness is enough to weaken their hold. Mindfulness and trauma for those who carry emotional wounds. Mindfulness can seem threatening. Memories, sensations, and emotions long buried may rise. Go slow. Start with the body. Anchor in the breath. Work with a teacher or therapist if needed. Trauma heals not by force, but through safe, repeated presence. Remember, mindfulness is not about perfection. It is about returning again and again to what is real. Zen koans, unaware koans, are paradoxical stories or questions used in Zen to break through logical thinking. One famous koan is, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" This question cannot be answered intellectually. It invites you into direct experience, into awareness beyond the thinking mind. In the space of not knowing, mindfulness is born. Another koan asks, "When neither the mind nor things exist, where is your true self?" In this silence, in this awareness, there lies your true nature, the fruits of mindfulness with sustained practice. Mindfulness yields increased emotional regulation, deep compassion for self and others, clarity of thought reduction, in stress and anxiety, connection to something larger than the ego. In Zen, this is called kensho, seeing one's true nature. Even a glimpse of this can radically shift your relationship with life. Guided mindfulness practice, the bell of now. Sit or stand. Imagine a bell ringing, the bell of now, with each breath. Return to this bell. Let it awaken you to the beauty in this very breath. Do this several times a day. Use sounds around you. A bird call, a siren, a child's laughter, as bells of mindfulness. Journal prompts, what pulls me out of the present moment most often? What does presence feel like in my body? Can I welcome my thoughts without becoming them? Closing contemplation, I am here. I am now. I meet this moment with open eyes. I receive what is. I do not resist, judge, or flee. I return to the breath, the body, the heart. I return to myself. Mindfulness is not something you add to your life. It is what remains when you remove distraction, judgment, and fear. It is the original state of being clear, open, compassionate. In the next chapter, we will explore how surrender is not only an act of awareness, but also an act of love, and how compassion softens resistance and invites deep healing. Chapter 4. Surrendering to pain, a path through suffering. In the quiet space between breath and thought, there exists a subtle truth. Suffering is not an enemy, but a teacher. In Zen Buddhism and core Buddhist philosophy, suffering too, as dukkha, is not merely a condition to be avoided, it is an integral part of the human experience, and within it lies the seed of liberation. Chapter 4 opens the door to a sacred and often misunderstood practice, surrendering to pain. Many of us spend our lives trying to escape discomfort, whether it's physical pain, emotional wounds, or existential restlessness. We instinctively resist, suppress, or run. But what if true healing doesn't come from resisting pain, but from turning toward it with compassion and curiosity? This is the essence of Zen, embracing what is without attachment or aversion. Let us begin by understanding suffering through the Buddha's first noble truth. Life is dukkha. This statement is not a pessimistic proclamation, but a compassionate observation of reality. It acknowledges the presence of birth, aging, illness, death, loss, disappointment, and unfulfilled desire. These conditions are not mistakes or punishments, they are natural parts of being alive. When pain arises, the ego's first impulse is to protect, to shield, to flee. The mind goes into overdrive, trying to solve or fix what it perceives as wrong. But this reaction adds a second layer of suffering. The pain is real, but the story we build around it, the resistance, the fear, the judgment makes it unbearable. In Zen, this is referred to as the arrow and the second arrow. The first arrow is the pain. The second arrow is our mental reaction. Surrendering to pain begins with pausing. Before you label the sensation, before you run to find relief, take a breath. Notice the exact qualities of the pain. Is it sharp, dull? Does it throb, pulse, constrict? Where is it located in your body? Is there emotion attached to it? Instead of trying to numb or fix it, sit with it. Become intimate with it. Ask the pain gently and with respect. What are you here to teach me? This practice requires immense courage. Society teaches us that strength lies in resistance, but the Buddha teaches that strength lies in openness. To open the heart in the midst of suffering is a radical act of healing. You are no longer a victim of your pain, you are its witness, and witnessing is the first step toward liberation. Consider the story of Kisa Gautami, a mother in ancient India whose child had died. Distraught, she went to the Buddha, begging him to bring her son back. The Buddha told her to find a mustard seed from a home that had not experienced death. She searched far and wide, but every home had known loss. When she returned, she understood the universality of suffering and began her path of awakening. Her pain had not disappeared, but her relationship with it had transformed. Zen Buddhism does not offer pain relief in the conventional sense. It offers something far deeper, the ability to sit in the fire and discover that the fire itself is part of your awakening. Pain becomes a doorway, a fierce and holy teacher that burns away illusion. Surrendering does not mean passivity or hopelessness. It means allowing reality to be as it is without trying to force it into what we wish it to be. This acceptance is not resignation. It is a dynamic, loving engagement with the truth of the present moment. The pain may still be there. It is bathed in awareness, and awareness transforms everything. You can practice this in daily life. When emotional pain arises, perhaps loneliness, anxiety, grief, pause and breathe. Place your hand on your heart and say, "This too belongs." Invite the pain to sit beside you. Listen to it. Ask it what it needs. Often, pain arises because something within us needs acknowledgement, compassion, or release. Similarly, physical pain can be softened by your presence. Mindfulness-based pain management has its roots in Zen. Studies have shown that observing pain with curiosity and without judgment reduces its intensity. This is not mystical, it's neurological. When you bring loving attention to pain, the brain's pain processing circuits shift. You move from the limbic fear response to the prefrontal awareness center. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving into the truth, to the now, to the rhythm of life that includes both joy and sorrow. Imagine the pain as a wave. Instead of resisting it, you float. You trust that it will crest and fall, and you will remain grounded in your awareness. You are not the wave, you are the ocean. There's also a profound spiritual alchemy in this surrender. Many Zen masters speak of their deepest awakenings, arising not in times of comfort, but in the depths of despair. When all distractions fall away, when the self can no longer maintain its illusions, the raw truth shines through. This is not the end. It is the beginning of a new relationship with life, one rooted in honesty and grace. We can apply this to interpersonal suffering as well. Betrayal, rejection, loss. These wounds cut deep. And yet, if we approach them with mindfulness, we begin to see that much of the suffering comes from our expectations and attachments. The Zen path teaches us to love fully but without clinging, to feel deeply but without drowning. Pain then becomes not a prison but a path. One powerful meditation is the practice of Tongolin, adapted from Tibetan Buddhism but embraced in Zen as a heart-opening method. Inhale the suffering your own or another's and exhale compassion. At first, this may seem counterintuitive, but it trains the heart to stay open, to become a vessel of healing. It dissolves the walls we erect around our pain and connects us to the pain of others, revealing our shared humanity. In the end, the path of surrender to pain is the path of profound presence. It asks us to trust that life, even in its darkest moments, is not against us. It is shaping us, refining us, calling us home to our true nature, a nature that is spacious, loving, and free. So the next time pain visits, do not turn away. Welcome it as a guest. Sit with it in silence. Listen to its wisdom. Offer it your breath, your presence, your patience, and watch how, over time, it transforms from a source of suffering into a sacred mirror, reflecting the unshakable peace that lives within you. This is Zen. This is surrender. This is healing. Chapter 5. Mindful Action. Living the Dharma in daily life, in the stillness of the present moment. How can I live my life with all its noise, demands, distractions, and responsibilities, while remaining anchored in presence, in mindfulness, in the teachings of the Dharma? This chapter is about integrating practice into life, not just during meditation or quiet solitude, but into the messy, unpredictable, and often chaotic rhythm of our daily routines. This is where true spiritual practice either thrives or falls apart. Buddhism does not ask us to retreat from the world forever. It teaches us to engage with it differently. It invites us to act from awareness, to respond instead of react, to embody wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness in everything we do. Mindfulness, beyond the cushion. Many practitioners make the mistake of believing that the real spiritual work happens only during formal practice on the cushion, during retreats, or in isolated moments of reflection. While these are vital, they are only the training ground. The battlefield of transformation is everyday life, in how we listen to a friend, how we respond to conflict, how we cook, how we work, and even how we walk from one room to another. Thich Nhat Hanh, the beloved Vietnamese Zen master, often said, "When you walk, walk. When you eat, eat." It means to be fully present with the act at hand, to give it your whole attention, to allow mindfulness to permeate each task. So how do we do this? Begin with simple tasks. Brushing your teeth, washing your hands, drinking water. Turn them into rituals of awareness. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. Do not judge, just watch. Buddhist teachings are not confined to lofty spiritual ideals. The Dharma, in its essence, is about ethical and mindful living. Mindful action arises from understanding the interconnectedness of all things. When we act from this awareness, compassion is the natural outcome. Helping a stranger, listening with presence. These are not small things. In the eyes of the Dharma, they are monumental. Every interaction with another being is an opportunity to express the Eightfold Path. Right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort. Mindful action means applying wisdom and compassion to the choices we make every day. For instance, in right speech, we reflect. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? When we live by this, our words become healing. The trap of busyness and mindless doing. One of the greatest hindrances to mindful living is our addiction to speed. Our days are packed, our to-do lists never end, and we often wear busyness as a badge of honor. But beneath this surface activity lies a deeper restlessness, the fear of being, the discomfort of facing silence. Zen practice asks us to slow down, not necessarily to do less, but to do it with presence. Busyness without awareness becomes suffering. We are pulled by our schedules. Instead of moving from it, we run through life constantly, trying to arrive at a better moment than this one. Mindful action calls for a radical shift, to do less automatically and be more consciously. It asks us to act from our center, not our stress. This means inserting pauses. It means breathing before speaking. It means honoring what you're doing, if it's mundane, with full attention. Work as practiced. Most of us spend a significant portion of our lives working, one of the most potent areas for practice. The Zen tradition emphasizes working with mindfulness and integrity. In Japanese Zen monasteries, even cleaning or gardening is seen as sacred. No task is too small to be infused with Dharma. The question isn't just what you do, but how you do it. Are you kind to your colleagues? Do you listen deeply? Do you take pride in your effort without clinging to results? Do you bring awareness into every email you write, every tool you use? Let work be your temple. Let the workplace be your meditation hall. Relationships as mirrors, another fertile ground for mindful action is human relationships. In fact, some would say this is the most advanced form of practice. Why? Because people will trigger us and mirror parts of ourselves we would rather not see. In every interaction, we have a choice to act from ego or to respond from presence. When we're grounded in the present moment, we are less likely to react impulsively. We develop what Zen calls non-reactivity, calm spaciousness that allows wise responses to emerge. Relationships are also where compassion finds its true expression. Can we love without clinging? Can we forgive without conditions? Can we hold space for others' pain without becoming overwhelmed? Another arena for mindful living has emerged. Our interaction with technology, our phones, social media, and constant connectivity pull us out of the now. They fragment our attention. They offer momentary pleasure, but often leave us feeling scattered. Mindful action requires setting boundaries. It means choosing when to check messages. It means using technology as a tool, not as a way to escape. It means pausing before hitting send. It means asking, is this action necessary, helpful, kind? Zen does not reject technology. It simply reminds us to use it mindfully. The power of intention. At the heart of mindful action lies intention. Every action begins with a thought. Every seed of karma is planted by intention. So before acting, pause. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it aligned with my values? Will it contribute to harmony or division? When intention is rooted in awareness, the presence we cultivate in solitude is the same presence we bring into a family dinner. This is the realization of non-duality. There is no spiritual life and ordinary life. There is just life lived, mindfully or not. In the Zen tradition, the ultimate test of enlightenment is not how well you meditate, but how you live. Do you wash your bowl with care? Do you bow to others with respect? Do you walk the earth gently? Mindfulness as a revolutionary act in a world that values speed, a rebellion against unconsciousness. That being matters more than having. When you live this way, others notice. Your calmness becomes contagious. Your compassion creates ripples. Your authenticity invites others to slow down and return to themselves. Mindful action is not a performance. It is a transmission, a living embodiment of the teachings. Daily practices from mindful action to integrate this into life. Consider the following. Morning intention setting. Start your day by taking 3 conscious breaths. Set an intention. May my actions today come from love, not fear. Chew slowly. Taste fully. Digital detox moments. Create tech-free zones during the day. Even for 15 minutes, compassion, pause. When irritated, pause, breathe. Ask, what is this person teaching me about myself? Gratitude, check-in, at day's end. Reflect on 3 mindful actions you took. Final reflection, to live the Dharma in daily. Life is to blur the boundary between practice and life. It is to recognize that each moment is the path. Each interaction is the temple. Each task is an invitation to return. You don't need a special robe. You don't need a perfect setting. You just need the willingness to show up fully. Let your life be your practice. Let your actions be your offerings. Let your mindfulness be your legacy. Chapter 6. The Inner Silence. Meeting yourself without judgment, there is a place within each of us, silent and untouched, where judgment has no voice and time holds no power. This place is not somewhere far away to be found. It is here now, at the very center of your being. Yet, in the noise of modern life and the storm of self-criticism, we forget how to return to this sacred space. Zen Buddhism teaches us that silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is the full presence of life without interpretation. It is in this silence that true healing begins, the loudness of the mind every day. The mind is filled with voices, plans, regrets, worries, opinions, and narratives. This inner dialogue can be helpful at times, but it often becomes an incessant commentary that drowns the subtle whispers of the present moment. One of the loudest of these voices is the voice of judgment. You're not enough. You failed again. You should be more like them. From a Buddhist perspective, this voice of judgment arises from delusion, from misunderstanding the nature of self. We are not the thoughts we think. We are not the stories we repeat. We are the awareness that sees, hears, and witnesses all things, including our own thoughts. Realizing this distinction is the first step toward meeting yourself without judgment. Silence is not emptiness, but fullness. Many people fear silence because it seems empty, void, or even threatening. But in Zen teachings, silence is sacred. It is a field of infinite potential where everything arises and dissolves. Think of a quiet forest. At dawn, it is not dead. It is brimming with life, subtle and harmonious. In the same way, inner silence is not the absence of thought, it is the space in which thought is held. And in that space, compassion can bloom. When we are silent within, we stop reacting and begin responding. We stop grasping for answers and start listening. We stop condemning ourselves and begin to understand. The practice of silent sitting in Zen. The practice of Zazen seated meditation is the gateway to inner silence. You sit still, not to achieve anything or to become better, but to be fully here. Thoughts come and go, but you do not follow them. You return to your breath, your body, your awareness. Over time, a quiet depth opens. This silence is not numbness, it's not indifference, it's a profound presence. And in that presence, you begin to meet yourself not as a bundle of flaws or a project to be fixed, but as a living, breathing miracle of consciousness. Letting go of the inner critic. The inner critic is a persistent visitor. It thrives on past, regrets, and future fears. But it loses power in the light of present moment awareness. In Buddhist psychology, this critic is not a permanent enemy, is a mental habit born of conditioning. And habits can be transformed whenever judgment arises. You can practice this simple mindfulness technique. Name it, silently say, judging mind. Pause and breathe, inhale deeply, letting the thought rise and fall like a wave. Return to presence, Gently bring attention back to the breath or bodily sensations. Offer compassion. Whisper inwardly, "May I be kind to myself." Over time, this practice rewires the mind. You stop believing every negative thought. You create space for kindness, softness, and forgiveness. Meeting the wounded part silence also reveals parts of ourselves we've ignored. Wounds, fears, and forgotten griefs often rise in stillness. Buddhist teachings remind us that suffering is not to be escaped but embraced. Only by touching the wound with gentle awareness can we begin to transform it. When a painful emotion arises in silence, treat it like a crying child. Don't push it away. Don't scold it. Hold it with care. Say, inwardly, "I see you. I'm here." With you, it untangles fear. It reestablishes trust with the self. The role of self-compassion. The Buddha taught that compassion should begin with oneself. Not in a selfish way, but because we cannot give to others what we deny ourselves. Self-compassion is not indulgence, it is spiritual maturity. It says, "I am worthy of love, even with my imperfections." Meeting yourself without judgment is the doorway to this compassion. It is how you learn to stop wounding yourself with the sword of perfection. It is how you sit in your humanity, humble and whole. Kristin Neff, a modern pioneer in self-compassion research, describes it as having three components: mindfulness, recognizing pain or struggle without exaggeration or avoidance; self-kindness, being gentle with yourself instead of critical, common humanity; realizing that suffering is part of the shared human experience. Zen adds a fourth element: silence, the container for all healing. Living in alignment with inner silence. Once you touch this silence, you begin to live differently. Your speech becomes more thoughtful, your choices become more grounded. You no longer seek validation in every moment, because you are anchored in something deeper. This does not mean you become passive or detached. Quite the opposite. You become more alive, more aware, more connected. You realize that peace was never out there. It was always available, hidden beneath the noise of judgment. Here are some ways to live in alignment with inner silence. Begin each day with a few minutes of silent sitting. Throughout the day, take short pauses to reconnect with your breath before reacting to challenges. Breathe and listen inwardly. Speak slowly and intentionally. From a place of clarity, surround yourself with moments of stillness. Nature, music, mindful walks. The gift of presence without judgment. To meet yourself without judgment is to meet the world without bias. It is to see with clear eyes and a tender heart. It is to walk through life not in a battle with your mind, but in harmony with your soul. The Buddha's message was simple, yet profound. You are not broken. You are not unworthy. You are already whole in the silence of now. You remember this. Truth. In that remembering, healing flows, and in that healing, life blossoms, not as something to conquer, but as something to cherish. Chapter 7. Compassion and non-resistance. The gentle strength of the heart, than the quiet halls of Buddhist wisdom. Compassion is not an emotional reaction, but a powerful force that arises from understanding the shared suffering of all beings. Zen Buddhism does not view compassion as mere sentimentality. Instead, it is seen as the natural expression of awakened awareness. When we surrender to the present moment, we begin to dissolve the walls between ourselves and others. This chapter explores the integration of compassion and non-resistance, two wings of the awakened heart that enable deep healing for ourselves and the world. The foundation of true compassion, or karu in Pali, is one of the four Brahmaviharas, or divine abodes, alongside loving kindness, metta, sympathetic joy, mudita, and equanimity, upekkha. Compassion arises when we perceive suffering and feel a deep, non-judgmental desire to relieve it. It is not pity, which places the sufferer beneath the observer, nor is it codependent attachment. True compassion honors the dignity and wholeness of every being, But how do we develop this type of compassion? The first step is to see clearly. In meditation and mindfulness, we begin to notice our own suffering, the small and large ways we contract around pain, fear, or shame. As we bring kind awareness to our own experience, we naturally develop the capacity to extend that same tenderness to others. Self-compassion is not selfish. It is the fertile soil in which compassion for others takes root. The gentle strength of non-resistance is the habit of turning away from what we don't like: pain, confusion, anger, injustice. It is rooted in the illusion of separation and the belief that we must fight or flee what is unpleasant. But Zen teaches us that non-resistance is not weakness. It is the ultimate strength. Non-resistance does not mean passivity. Rather, it is an invitation to meet life with openness. When we resist the flow of the moment, we suffer. But when we soften our stance, we begin to see clearly and respond wisely. Non-resistance is about letting go of the inner struggle, allowing what is and acting from clarity rather than reactivity. Loving presence in action. When compassion and non-resistance merge, they form a powerful healing presence. This is the heart of Bodhisattva, the awakened heart that seeks to alleviate suffering for the benefit of all beings. Compassionate presence is not something we do, but something we become. It is a quality of being that radiates warmth, safety, and acceptance in your daily life. This means listening to others without judgment. It means holding space for your own pain without rushing to fix it. It means seeing past the surface behavior of people and recognizing their inner wounds. Compassionate presence doesn't require grand gestures. It is most often revealed in small acts of kindness, attention, and patience. The practice of Tonglen, breathing in the pain of the world, one powerful practice for cultivating compassion. And non-resistance is Tonglen, a Tibetan Buddhist meditation. In Tonglen, we breathe in the suffering of others and breathe out love, healing, and peace. This goes against the ego's instinct to avoid pain, but it aligns perfectly with the awakened heart. Imagine someone you love who is suffering. As you inhale, breathe in their pain, their fear, their sorrow. Let your heart receive it without flinching. As you exhale, send them ease, relief, and compassion. Over time, you can expand this practice to include strangers, even those you dislike. It is a radical, transformative practice that dissolves the illusion of separation from judgment to understanding. One of the greatest barriers to compassion is judgment. We categorize people quickly, good or bad, worthy or unworthy, like us or different. But judgment is a defense mechanism, a way to protect ourselves from vulnerability. When we soften into non-resistance, we begin to understand, rather than judge. Everyone is doing their best with the level of awareness they have. Every harmful action stems from ignorance, fear, or unresolved pain. This does not excuse wrongdoing, but it opens the door to empathy. When we see clearly, we understand that even the person who hurt us is caught in their own suffering. This insight frees us from hatred and allows love to arise. The mirror of compassion in Zen, we speak of the mirror-minda mind that reflects without distortion. When you look at another with compassion, you reflect their wholeness back to them. You become a mirror in which they can see their own light. This is healing. Many people walk through life feeling unseen, unworthy, or rejected. But when they encounter someone who meets them with gentle strength, their wounds begin to mend. Your compassionate presence can be the medicine someone has been silently longing for. Embodying the way to live with compassion and non-resistance is to embody the Dharma. It is to live as a bodhisattva who vows to awaken for the sake of all beings. This path is not always easy. It requires courage, patience, and a willingness to feel deeply. But it is also the most joyful way to live. Every moment is an opportunity. To practice, when a friend is suffering, can you simply be with them without needing to fix it? When someone cuts you off in traffic, Can you meet that moment with curiosity instead of anger? When you feel overwhelmed, can you offer yourself the same kindness you would give to a child? Compassion is not a state to achieve. It is a direction to move toward a path of remembering our shared humanity, a soft heart in a hard world, and a world that often values toughness and competition. Compassion can seem fragile, but it is not. A soft heart is not a weak heart, it is a brave heart. It takes courage to stay open in the face of pain, to keep loving in the face of betrayal, to forgive even when it's hard. The Zen masters often say, "The way is easy for those who do not pick and choose." When we stop choosing who is worthy of our love and who is not, we begin to live in alignment with the deepest truth that all beings want to be free from suffering. Final reflection: pause for a moment and place your hand on your heart. Feel the warmth there. That is the fire of compassion. It may have been buried under years of pain, fear, or distraction, but it has never gone out. With every breath, you can fan its flame. The gentle strength of your heart is your greatest power. Through compassion and non-resistance, you do not escape the world, you heal it. You do not bypass suffering, you transform it. One breath, one act of love, one moment of presence at a time. You are not separate from others. Their joy is your joy. Their pain is your pain, and your healing is their healing. Let compassion lead you home. Chapter 8: Surrender as Liberation. Living fully in the present moment, there's a quiet power hidden in surrender. Not the surrender of giving up or resigning in defeat, but the sacred surrender that opens us up to the totality of life. In Buddhism, this surrender is the ultimate liberation, the final letting go that frees us from the suffering caused by attachment, fear, resistance, and illusion. To surrender fully is to say yes to life exactly as it is. It means we stop running from the present moment and instead allow it to embrace us, hold us, and teach us. In that stillness, we begin to discover that what we thought was the end is the beginning of something miraculous: inner freedom. Journey together through the wisdom of Zen and Buddhist teachings to understand how surrender is not weakness, but the deepest strength born from love, awareness, and truth. The prison of controller minds are addicted to control. We plan, we anticipate, we worry. We build entire worlds out of what-ifs and should-haves. But as the Buddha taught, life is ever-changing. Clinging to control is like trying to stop a river with your hands. It's exhausting and futile. The more we resist reality, the more we suffer. The more we grasp at control, the more fragmented our hearts become. Surrender means loosening the grip. It means trusting the flow of life, even when we don't understand it. It's realizing that the ground beneath us doesn't need to be solid, it only needs to be real. Surrender in the Buddhist path in Zen, surrender isn't a act, it is a practice. Each moment invites us to let go of our resistance, to stop fighting what is, whether in the pain of loss, the struggle of failure, or the fear of uncertainty. Surrender becomes a doorway into deeper presence. The story of Kisagami, a mother who lost her only child, reflects this beautifully. In her grief, she asked the Buddha to bring her son back. The Buddha told her to bring a mustard seed from a house that had not known death. She searched but found none. She realized then that suffering was universal. Her surrender to the truth didn't take her pain away, but it opened her to wisdom, to compassion, and to the healing of presence. This is the nature of Buddhist surrender. It does not erase life's pain. It allows us to meet it, breathe with it, and transform it, living the teachings inwardly and outwardly in daily life. Surrender shows up in small moments, when you pause before reacting with anger, when you breathe instead of blaming, when you accept someone's flaws instead of trying to fix them, when you acknowledge your fears without letting them rule you. Each of these is a thread in the fabric of liberation. The more we surrender to the truth of each moment, the lighter we become, The less we try to change others or mold life to our liking, the more we enter into harmony with what is dot. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki said, in the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's there are few. Surrender returns us to that beginner's mind state of openness, receptivity, and wonder. The peace beyond words. When we fully surrender, something extraordinary happens. The noise quiets, the heart softens, the breath deepens. We begin to rest not in conditions, not in achievement, but in the sacredness of presence itself. This resting is not laziness. It is aliveness without striving, awareness without effort, joy without cause. Zen often points to this mystery with a smile and silence. Why? Because words can only point. Liberation can't be explained. It must be lived. To surrender is to finally come home, not to a place, but to a way of being, to the peace that arises when we no longer demand that the moment be different. Final meditation. Sitting with surrender. Sit quietly, breathe gently. Allow your body to soften with each exhale. Imagine letting go of one layer of resistance. Let go of thoughts, let go of needing answers. Let go of the idea of a perfect self. Feel what remains: stillness, warmth, spaciousness. Say silently, I surrender to the present moment. Feel the freedom in that, the love, the safety, the peace. You are not giving up, you are waking up. Conclusion. The eternal now surrender, in its truest form, is not the end of the path, it is the path. It is how we walk through life's joys and heartbreaks without becoming hardened. It is how we hold grief and gratitude in the same palm. It is how we see others, not as enemies, but as mirrors. When we surrender to the present moment, we say yes to the only reality there is. And in that yes, we find not weakness, but the gentle strength of awakened heart. So let this be your invitation. Return, rest, trust, surrender again and again until what remains is only peace. Until what remains is only love. Until what remains is presence itself. And a world driven by speed, distraction, and striving. We have journeyed together through a path less traveled, a path that does not demand more from you, but rather asks you to lay down what you were never meant to carry. This path, illuminated by the teachings of the Buddha and the gentle wisdom of Zen, has shown us a radical truth. You do not need to reach for peace. It is already here in this moment. We began by understanding the nature of the present moment, not as an abstract idea, but as a living reality that breathes with each heartbeat, whispering that your life is happening now, not someday. We then explored the illusion of control, the false safety we seek through resistance, planning, and overthinking. But in letting go, we discovered a strange and quiet strength, a healing that comes from surrender. Through the anchor of breath, we returned again and again to the simplicity of being. We met impermanence, not as a threat, but as a sacred teacher. We stepped into our lives with mindful action, no longer sleepwalking through tasks, but moving with care, presence, and purpose. We sat with our own inner silence, no longer fearing it, but seeing it as the doorway to our own heart. And then we touched the heart of all. Teachings, compassion, and non-resistance, not as poetic ideals, but as living fires that warm our own wounds and illuminate the suffering of others. Compassion is not weakness. It is the gentle power that transforms both the one who gives and the one who receives. And now, as we close, we come full circle to the essence of it all. Surrender is liberation, not a giving up, but a giving in to life itself, just as it is. In this surrender, you are no longer fighting your emotions, your past, your future, or your thoughts. You become a still lake that reflects all things clearly. You become free, not because everything has changed, but because you no longer need it to. This is the healing the Buddha spoke of, not the fixing of a broken self, but the awakening to the truth that you are already whole. Let this be your practice. When life rushes you, slow down. When fear rises, breathe in. When anger visits, offer it compassion. When doubt clouds your mind, return to your breath. When pain knocks, meet it with kindness. When joy arrives, do not grasp, just bow. Is not the end, but the beginning of a new relationship with life. One lived in reverence, one lived in presence, one lived in surrender. And so, wherever you are, in whatever moment you find yourself reading this pause, feel your feet on the ground. Feel the breath entering and leaving your body. Feel the aliveness of this moment. This is your life, and this dear one is enough. Breathe, smile, bow. You are home.